We are live on the Mighty Mushroom Reseller Stories. We're going to talk about we're gonna get the sellers on the interwebs to come and hang out with us. Tonight we have Thrift Shop Hustler, who runs a really amazing Saturday night open bar, open forum show, which I think is great for the community. I wanted to thank him for doing that show live here, and have him tell you where to find him on social media, on YouTube, and tell us a little bit about his show first.
Hey, what's up, everyone? I'm Chris, the Thrift Shop Hustler, and I want to thank Mighty Mushroom for inviting me on the show tonight. I have a YouTube channel. It's the Thrift Shop Hustler, and every Saturday night at 9 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, we do a like a reseller open bar show where it's pretty much freeform. We drop the link in the chat room, and anyone can come in and join the chat. And my YouTube channel is basically like reselling, and I do a whole bunch of other things other than reselling. So it's just like the Thrift Shop Hustler thing's just a whole other persona and a hobby that I pursue. I have tons of hobbies, a million hobbies.
Tell us about some of those hobbies.
Well, one of them is like I'm a custom artist. I've been doing I like repaint toys and urban vinyl toys. Like I've done like Kid Robot stuff and Vinylmation and Funkos and things like that. That's like a whole other. If anyone Googles Evilos, that's Evilos, that you can see like my whole art persona. That I don't really share that much stuff on the Thrift Shop Hustler channel, because that's just a whole other persona and another hobby that I do. And I'm actually pretty well known in the customizing industry for that stuff. So it's just one of those things like no one really knows about me.
I'm totally not like a materialist or a collector in a weird way. Like I have like these collections that kind of come and go, but they're not really so specific. Like I don't go look for anything per se, but I encounter probably so much more things than an average person does, a day or a week or whatever. But there's certain things I just kind of hang on to because they're peculiar.
Yeah, I wanted to show you this thing as a matter of fact.
Collection.
And actually, let me show you. And I hope I don't ruin my whole setup here for a second. I don't even know if I should even do this. Should I do this?
Do it.
I'm gonna because I'm like, nah, you know what? I can't. You know what? I'm gonna do it.
Yeah, if you think you shouldn't, you probably should.
There we go. Oh, there it goes.
Junk-a-lanch. Do you ever have a junk-a-lanch where you have like a pile of crap and it just falls down and you're like, junk-a-lanch?
No, my God, I told you I was not gonna do it. I did it. And I ruined my whole live stream.
Not my fault.
No, it's all good. It's my fault. And give me 1 second here. I'm gonna set back up.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Oh man, that's amazing. What a delay. Oh yeah, that's what I wanted to do.
No, the funny part was like I was all set up, like all in this little in this like kind of comfy spot, and I was like, if I'm gonna move, I'm gonna knock something over.
You're like in a little cave over there.
Yeah. So, anyways, I knocked my laptop over and my camera over just to show you this guy.
Holy flying fart balls!
Who is a taxidermy plush alligator crocodile thing.
Alligator crocodile thing. I see that you're not into like philetics there.
No. I'm like I'm a caveman. I don't.
I believe that is an I believe that is an American alligator that you have there.
It is an American alligator.
To be extremely patriotic.
Yeah, and so it was like that's what I'm saying. Like I don't collect. Like you were going down the path where like, oh, I don't have that collector mentality, and I think that's what fuels the reseller community. Is like we're selling a lot of stuff to collectors and things like that.
Yeah.
But there's certain things that I must have, and like when I saw that thing, I was like, I have to have this.
I mean, in your mind, how do you justify a purchase for yourself of a stuffed, patriotic alligator? I mean, it just sounds completely ridiculous. I mean, it sounds beyond ridiculous.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's the whole thing is like, I have no idea. I just thought it was just like the weirdest thing that I've ever seen. And I was like instantly drawn to it too. That's the even weirder part. Was like, I was like, God, I have to have this, but it was just like one of those things.
Really? I'm gonna do a shout out to Instagram right now. We're live on YouTube, so you should come and join. It'll be an open forum in like 30 minutes. Oh, well, anyway, we'll keep that going for a while. Yeah, so that's so I totally lost my train of thought like a moron.
Oh no, you were talking. It was me. Like I knocked over all my shit and I ruined the whole show. And no, you were talking about you were going down the path of like how you were saying like you don't have the collector mentality where you don't really collect stuff.
Yeah.
And you were trying to.
So sometimes there's like I call it the P trap. You know what a P trap is?
No.
Okay. When your drain goes down and it goes up and it goes down, it goes like this. And this part right here is called the P trap. So if somebody drops a ring or tooth or a pea or a small raisin, you know, it looks like you can take that thing off the bottom and you know the gunk will be in there. So and the junk will be in there. But so what happens sometimes is you find a killer item, right? So any collector would die to have this piece. It's not really in my collection. It's for sale, but you'll get banned on eBay for selling these.
What the hell is it?
I got suspended for 30 days, and it was an automatic suspension, computer suspension, and yeah, you don't want to do that. I mean, it just looks like a little knife, right?
Right.
This will get you suspended for at least 7 days. They're called Gerber touches, and I guess now I collect them. But they're so dangerous. Look, it doesn't lock, and they get stuck, and they're Gerber knives, so they're razor sharp. So I'm not even gonna try to close this one because it might cut my finger off. But so what I don't have any of the buckles because you can sell the buckles that they go into.
Right.
So this fits in a buckle, and you whip it out, and there's a strap here, right? And the buckle grabs this little thing, and it pulls the knife out as you pull it out flat, and all of a sudden you have a drawn knife out of your belt buckle. Wow. I didn't really know that. So it's considered some kind of weapon by eBay.
Oh, I see. So it's more like a dangerous kind of thing that you can sell instead of being like an illegal.
Yeah. Well, beyond being dangerous, like apparently it may be illegal in some states or something. It's not illegal in Oregon. These were made in Portland, Oregon.
What's the brand? What's the brand?
I went to Gerber. Have you heard of Gerber? Probably.
Gerber. Yeah.
If you.
Yeah. Like I've heard of Gerber baby food. I don't think I've heard of Gerber like knives or anything like that.
You haven't heard of Gerber knives?
Nah, man. Yeah,
wow,
no.
That's crazy.
I know that some of like I know about like those the like bone looking pocket knives that are very popular. Yeah, Gerber.
That's Gerber's. Their tagline is legendary blades, and they make swords. And these came from the estate of a guy. I'm here in Portland, Oregon. This came from the estate of a guy who worked for Gerber. I got there really late. I got there on like the 3rd day of the sale. This was a couple years ago. So I was more like Jacob. I went in on like the 3rd day because I didn't even see the sale. But these are scrimshaw. These are like the blanks that they made the molds maybe from, but they're like actually hand carved. They're the originals.
Whoa.
Yeah, these are original scrimshaws. They're all original. You can see there's like an eagle.
Yeah.
So this one is one that wasn't even. Some of these were released for production. You can find those units, but they're made from these. These are the originals. This is one that was like a promo. Never released this. It's just a little fly and a piece of it fell off the back of this one, but it matches with this one. You can see the graphics fucked up. Put it back on. The graphics great.
Yeah.
But it's in this resin,
Yeah, I was gonna
right?
say it almost looks like an amber kind of thing, or a clear resin.
It's a polyurethane resin, but it was clear, but over time it yellows.
Right.
It's kind of like how a Nintendo yellows or whatever. Some of the Nintendo's yellow, you know?
Yeah.
So it was perfectly clear. And then there's some experimental ones in here, like this one. This one wasn't ever released, but I can't. I mean, you can see that the blades are. The quality of these is amazing. These are made in the United States.
Right.
But yeah, so that's how things kind of swirl. Like that got caught in a P trap. I mean, so it's sitting here.
Right. Yeah, that's like almost like a death pile in a way, right? Like almost like you're.
It's not a death pile.
In a way, it is, because you haven't listed it, you haven't done anything with it. You call it a P trap, but I guess you can also say that it's just in limbo to be listed or sold or something.
Yeah,
right?
it's in a state of limbo.
It's in reseller purgatory.
Yeah, yeah. So one of the ways I found out that these were, if you look at these, you see how it's the same eagle image?
Yeah.
You see one's carved deeper than the other one?
I was gonna say one actually looks different.
Yeah, well, this one is the one that was made from this one, I believe.
Hey, Jacob is here.
This one is the one that was made from this one. This is the original. And this is the stamp. What's up, dude?
Showing your knife collection?
No, we were talking about the P trap.
Oh. Do tell.
It's like a tiny death
pile. It's a tiny death pile.
He's got his own like terminology, and he expects everyone to know what the hell he's talking about. We're like, oh yeah, the P trap, sure, that's the thing. Like what?
Me, this is my show. I make fun of people on this show. That's why I started a show, so I could make fun of people. Yeah. Jacob, lovely to see you. I really hope you had a great day picking out there. I know there were some really great opportunities left, especially at that Gary Germer sale. Dude, let's talk about that. I'm gonna have Chris tell us a little story. We're gonna do a little song and dance, and then we'll open up the forum and we'll all just shoot the shit. And he might have to leave early, but we can keep talking. My cousin's gonna join in later.
Oh, hi.
As long as Chris wants to stay in, he's the main guest. So, Chris, yeah, we were going along the lines of things that you collect. Is there anything else you got in there that you want to show us and knock your computer down and make a big mess?
Oh my God, I'm just glad like the computer didn't shut off or anything didn't break or anything. No, I don't have anything at arm's distance, but no, I showed you that because I don't really collect anything either. Like that, a lot of people assume that I collect stuff, and I really don't. I used to, I had the Star Wars figures. I had a lot of different things, but I do. If I find something like the alligator, even I have it listed on eBay for like $1,200 just to see because it's like pretty much like one of a kind in a way. It actually has an artist kind of tag on it and everything on the back. So these things were like produced at a point. But anyways, yeah, I just the thing is, to me, I'd rather have the money to like, go out to dinner or like, pay.
Yeah, you want to have the freedom to do what you want, and some people have the opposite thing. So I was raised, I'm Cajun French. We're a mixture of like French and other European background, but my family is like really mixed, and there's definitely some, I think, Cherokee in there, but like relatively recently. So I have a really weird and mixed background. I'm a quarter British because my grandfather fought in World War II and brought over a wife from like London. But we're just non-materialists. If you go into the houses of any of my relatives, all you'll see is, you won't see anything. They just don't. They have $1 million in silver buried in the backyard, and a lawn chair in front of a television. I'm really serious. I mean, they just, that's how they live.
No, it makes sense.
They just, in general, and I can't generalize to all Cajuns, because I don't know all Cajuns, but I can say all the Cajuns from where they live are very, very similar to that. So, I mean, I like cool stuff, and I like to present it to people, and I like to, divert the flow and make people happy. Like, really, I don't sell anything anybody needs. I don't sell baby diapers or water or bread or anything. I give that shit away. I sell like things that people want, not what people need. That makes any sense.
No, it does. And like, I'm the same way. I guess I wouldn't say I'm a materialist though. You know, I would, if I had money, I would like nice things. But to me, like, I see something that I have that's of value, I'm going to sell it, because when you really think about it, we're like, I can get ran over by a truck tomorrow, and then what is it good to me? Or I can sell this knick-knack and like have a good night on the town. Do you know what I mean? Like, that's how I kind of think about the whole reselling thing too. Even though I do it like part-time, I don't ever really do it full-time, because I just got like a million other things going on too on top of it. So
yeah, I mean, it clutters up your existence a little bit too. Like, you want to make moves, you got a bunch of stuff to move around, you know, you kind of shackle yourself in with, like, imagine if you had like 1,000. It's kind of like my eBay. It's really funny. Like, my eBay store is like a collection. It's just for sale.
right.
You know? I mean, basically what I do is I go collect interesting things, but I have no attachment to them. Like,
Yes.
I don't, if I buy it for $1 and then sell it for 400 and it's worth 4,000, awesome. I just like made somebody's year, week, or day way better, and I made mine better too. So I don't look back on anything. If I made a mistake, which I do, I look back on my own mistakes, real mistakes, if they affect somebody else, you know. But
Right.
in those cases, like, everybody was happy and the transaction was good. You know, you had a price, you offered it, somebody took it, and whatever. But that rarely happens. If something is, I know, just like Jacob, I know if something, and I know if something is really peculiar, and it seems to, you can kind of, you figure yourself, well, I've been doing this for 15 years and I've never seen this, and I've seen a lot of junk. This is like a unique piece of junk, so you kind of try to figure it out.
No, absolutely.
When you encounter something that maybe you have to take a little bit of a risk on, but you're like, I'm gonna buy it. Do you just buy on instinct, or are there ever situations where you're like, I gotta look this thing up, even if it's $25, I'm gonna look it up?
If the price is right, I'll just pick it up. I won't even think twice about it, because at this point,
yeah,
because I think I paid like $20 for the alligator, and it's worth way more than that for sure.
I mean, who would buy it? I wouldn't even.
Exactly. Who the fuck would buy that?
I mean, it's a dead alligator that looks like Uncle Sam.
It's a plush too. Someone like integrated plush parts to it. To like,
Yeah.
Okay, here's the thing. Here's the thing. That's the taxidermy part: the head, the claws, and the feet. And the rest are all plush, like a plush kind of alligator. It is insane. It is insane. But yeah,
somebody
I don't know.
just made me an offer today for $10 for a $100 jacket. Woohoo! I'm rich.
Oh my god, do you ever block people that give you low balls?
No, I don't.
No, I do.
No.
Like if some,
I don't see any purpose in it. I mean,
no,
a lot of the
because-
times lowball buyers are pains in the ass because
no, but I mean, listen, like, what if, okay, so like, I don't remember what it was, but it was something that wasn't like, you know, cheap. They offered me $1 and then with free shipping. That shit gets blocked, dude.
I mean,
like,
that's just stupid. Maybe they were drunk, or they're just an idiot, or like, you know.
Yeah, I guess everyone's different. For me, like, I feel like I'm being trolled, so I'm gonna kind of double down on
Dude,
their.
I troll Lonnie's channel. I troll Lonnie's eBay. Lonnie from Garage Flips. I just troll his eBay and like mess with him all the time.
Does he know it's you?
I'm just kidding. No, I don't. I made him an offer on a really I made him an offer, and it was a lowball offer for his price, but it was actually a high offer for what it was, because it was in a rare color. So the market was like 90. He was asking like 280 or something ridiculous, and I offered him like 125, which was above market. And then I think he thought I was trolling him, but I really wanted it. And then he sold it to somebody else, and then they returned it. What karma? What karma?
Yeah, I've only talked to Lonnie a couple of times.
He's really, really awesome, man.
Yeah.
I want him to come on the show and hang out. He's like, he's definitely one of my favorites to watch. He's funny, man. I really like him a lot.
Yeah, I like you. Like, here's the thing. Like, I've been around for so long that I'm just happy when I learn new stuff, because I'm like, I figured it all out. And then I hear about perfume, or you know what I mean? Like, or then I hear about like he sells Bibles or something like that. I'm like, I never thought about that. So it's good to like, And I think that's what's great about YouTube is learning from each other, all the different things that we've never even thought about collecting or buying or whatever.
I picked up some Bibles based on what he was saying, and none of them have sold. But I did find I really no, but I don't know how to. The prices are kind of like all over, and one of them was like a Pope John Paul version, and it looked like it went for pretty good money or whatever. I bought a couple of other. I bought a weird Masonic Bible that was signed by like a 33-degree Mason. So that's really was interesting. Nice. I don't know about Freemasonry and all that type of nonsense, but all religions are the same to me.
Yeah, you know, that stuff's real. Like there's so much hidden kind of occult kind of things out in the world that people really don't know about, and the world isn't exactly how it seems. And when you wake up to that, it's a real shocker. But then like once you're woke or whatever, you understand like, well, you know, there's some other crap, there's some other shit going on here, and your eyes are open, and your third eye, I guess what you would say, like is, you know, once you get your third eye open, man, like the world's your oyster, dude, for sure.
Well, I mean, layers of and decades of programming by people who aim to control people it's melting off, because people are now, instead of connecting through each other through some kind of lens or some kind of central authority, it's like now they're connecting directly. So if somebody said, people in Japan eat humans and boil cats in their bathtubs, and everybody was like in the streets, and then but instead like there was like you could actually talk to somebody from Japan, and you know, they like invited you into their house to have tea. So it's like, yeah.
Well, you want to hear a crazy story? Like now that you said about like a you don't know if they're crazy, but they invite you in their house. There was a lady who lived in Jeffrey Dahmer's apartment, and he invited her over for lunch one day, and she thinks that he fed her human flesh in a sandwich and didn't realize it till after the whole thing went down, because she was like, he gave me a sandwich, we sat down, we talked for a second, the sandwich kind of tasted funny, and he was saying it was something exotic, something or another. So she was like, I fucking probably ate human flesh from Jeffrey Dahmer. So it's like, that just reminds me of that story. Like,
I mean, the bad luck that you have to have. I mean, there's like billions of people in the world. It's like to encounter Jeffrey Dahmer or somebody like Jeffrey Dahmer. I mean, that's that's like the bell curve. He's like way over there. I hope he's way over there on the bell curve, because that shit. Yeah, man. You were talking about Ouija boards. I don't like crazy murdering motherfuckers.
The thing with him, here's a weird part about Jeffrey Dahmer is, you think like he was just kind of like this gay serial killer or whatever, but he was trying to like, he would like abduct his victims, or he'd kind of coerce them into the house, drug them, and then he would like perform surgery on their brains through their ears to try to program them to be sex slaves. Did you know that?
No, but like, Jesus Christ, man.
Yeah.
Family. No.
Oh, is it? I thought this is like
I'm joking. I'm totally kidding. I'm kidding. I'm joking.
Yeah, we kind of went sideways, but anyways, like, I'm just saying, like, there's so much weird shit out there, man. Like,
I had to unmute. This got very dark.
Yeah, no, like it went way dark. Like, thrift shop.
How did we get here?
Has some shit, man. He has some shit.
Oh yeah, no, I've lived a colorful life, man, and I enjoy documentaries. I'm not saying like, oh, I love researching serial killers. It was just I work in the movie industry, and I work on all these documentaries, and sometimes I have to watch them and, you know, go through them and everything. And it's just so fascinating, just the human nature. How does someone get to a level where they're like drugging people and then like even just doing like, it's just, I don't understand. Like, it's crazy.
Yeah, the savage nature. It's like, what makes somebody, what drives somebody into that type of savagery? I mean, is it some kind of like adrenaline rush? Is it some kind of like
It's probably more like a mental.
Really, like some kind of fucking demonic possession or something.
I don't know. I don't know about demonic possession. I don't even think that is even a real thing, man. But let me sidetrack it. Death Piles was saying
words, so
well, yeah, but I mean, I guess you can say like I guess you definitely have a valid point there, man. But Death Piles is saying he was saying, and we're gonna go back to the reselling thing from the dark area that we were just in. He was saying all niches have their particular knowledge. Don't buy all perfume. Don't buy all Bibles. It takes experience, and I definitely agree with that for sure. You gotta know your stuff.
Wait. We're not gonna derail this conversation. This is like good. Let's keep going.
You like this? Yeah, no.
Well, I mean, I want you to talk about what you want to talk about, which is awesome. Like serial killers totally freak me out. Like I am 100% freaked out by that.
Yeah.
So, I mean, really.
It just, I don't know. Like I can't.
The thing that like.
Here's the thing. Like
totally freaks me out. It's like.
Well, here's the thing. Like I feel like
fathom it.
I feel like I'm a compassionate person. I can't ever see myself ever harming another human being and causing them like pain like that. You know what I mean? It takes a real psycho to kind of like do that to another human being. It's just I don't get how someone could even be wired that way.
What is the purpose? You know, like everything I do has a purpose. There's nothing. I don't have randomness and chaos, but like there seems to be maybe a cult of or some archetypical thing in people's brains or something that like worships chaos. You know, Donald Trump for me is like a symbol of chaos and coming chaos. Everything about him is chaos. He just is a symbol to me of the wanton desire for absolute chaos for some reason.
Well, the thing is, I think he came from another, like, here's the thing, like honestly, I just think like he came from just another section of like reality.
Another what dimension?
Well, not just that. And honestly, I got nothing against Donald Trump. Like I said, like I see like every human being, even the worst human being, is going to have that yin and yang. There's that good and bad. There's that, like, we live in a duality. We live in the third dimension. It's a duality. There's the light and the dark. There's the good and the evil. You know what I mean? So I think he's driven by probably just, you know, ambition and all that stuff. So it just clouds his judgment. The thing is, he's done some really kind of weird stuff. Like his whole campaign was like, go ahead.
Aside for good or bad, putting the frame of reference as good or bad, he is a symbol of chaos and disorder. It just seems like he drives that. Not just him, it's an energy associated with.
Yeah, you're going robot on me, dude. Jacob, is that him?
It seems like
tell me that's him.
Is that who?
Yeah, it is.
Okay.
He is a robot.
No, because you got a really bad connection, and you're going full robot on us, dude. You're going Transformers on us.
Because they didn't want you to hear what I had to say.
Yeah, I know. But I want to actually say something about 19th Vintage. He says, Chris watching Jeffrey Dahmer documentaries and kind of laughing, but I'm scared of estate sales. I never said I was scared of estate sales. I just said that I can feel the vibes of the dead in the estate sales. That's a whole different level.
We go to LA and we're in an estate sale and Chris is in the bottom of the basement having like a seance with some Capri Sun.
I'm like, where's the gold? Is it in the wall? Knock 3 times.
Dude, there's a house in Northeast Portland. They just had an estate sale and the dude was obviously old as fuck and he didn't have anything in his house at all. I don't even know why they had an estate sale, but I'm like, I wanted to take a metal detector in the back based on the record. So sometimes you can look up this is like a real secret. And if you don't know this, I'm going to tell everybody a huge secret. You might use it, you might not, but it will tell you a lot about an estate sale before you get there. So basically you take the address and you put it into the local county records and you see when the house was bought and sold. You can see how long they lived there.
Yeah. You can also see like how many people have died in a house with like I think there's a record too. I don't know, why the hell did I go back to that?
Jesus Christ, man. We're trying to give him tips about how to find good estates, and he's like, I'm still thinking about having to stay on some basement.
There was like a YouTube channel guy who was at an estate sale where like the guy that like the person that was dying was like in the house in a bed as people were like buying stuff. I think it's like Doo-Doo Daddy or something like that. I don't remember his name.
The dude was like the guy, like they were having his estate before he died.
Yeah, he was in the house, or this is what the YouTube guy, he didn't film it, but he came out of the house
all fucked up.
He came out of the house all like, oh my God. Like
a lot of estates I go to, and they're not based on anybody dying. There's like a lot of things that happen, like people downsize, people move to other places, people get married, you know. Sometimes one person dies, the other person doesn't, and they just walk away and start a new life. It's really weird. Yeah. But I mean, it's not all tragedy. It really isn't. I mean,
no, I know
estate sales are not just from like the people in the house all died or whatever. There's a lot of different reasons.
Right. I get weird vibes from certain ones, and some of them are fine.
Oh,
some of them I get weird vibes from.
Totally. Like Raccoon House, it was like, whoa, dude, it was like Indiana fucking Jones lived there, for real. I mean, yeah, for real. We'll do I'll do a show on all the stuff I have. I haven't sold anything from that sale, so.
What kind of stuff was in that
show on all the facts that came out of there? There's one in particular that I think is like over 1,000 years old.
Wow. So we got Paisley Bradley in the house. What's up, Paisley Bradley? Death Piles Outpost.
Oh, the chat's going crazy. How far? Do you know how I see how far into the show we are?
How?
I don't know. That's why I'm asking.
Look at a clock, dude.
I don't know. I'm not paying attention to the clock. I'm paying attention to you.
You just asked.
8 seconds.
You just.
No, I don't even know how to use this computer. Like.
I answered you legitly, and then
yeah, you did. You did. You're like,
shit.
Look at a clock. No, but I'm not paying attention to you right now. This is my show. I get to like not be able to tell time.
Oh, okay. So, I thought you were gonna try to expose me. Isn't this like an expose like show?
No, it's just a chat show. It mostly exposes me for being an idiot.
That is true. That is true. Check off the mark on that box. Oh, I'm sorry. It's your show. It's your show. You gotta.
Only I can call myself an idiot on my show. Damn it. So one of the main highlights of the show is we tell like a story, and we've been kind of leading in and talking. And I want to invite you to tell a story about life or reselling or anything you want. Then I'll tell a story, and then we'll open up the live chat.
Well, I guess we talked about pre-show. Like I used to. This isn't really something that like, you know, I'm too happy about, but when I was younger, I used to be into drugs, and I kind of feel like I overdosed on acid one time, and I ended up like going into different dimensions, and I was like, I totally had an out-of-body experience and saw the fourth dimension. And if anyone wants to know what the fourth dimension is, it's really hard to explain, but imagine you're watching the whole universe in its entirety from a black kind of like room, like there's nothing in it, but then you see like it building on top of each other like almost like a snake. And it almost like, do you ever see the thing where it's like the 8 where the snake eats itself? It's like called like eternity. Like it's
called the Ouroboros.
Exactly. So like that means like infinity. And the number 8 in numerology is like it's like infinity, and like it almost feels like maybe that's how the universe. Anyways, that was the fourth dimension. But anyways, it was almost like I died and went to this like I can't even explain it. But anyways, I came back, and it was almost like I was reborn again.
So when you went to this place, describe like its makeup. Describe its makeup and its geometry to me.
It wasn't like, okay, you're dead, now you're in like freaking Willy Wonka's factory and shit. It's like there was this progression of like this whole progression of being here and being there and experiencing things like on a whole crazy level. Like our human experience, we're like in the third dimension, so we're stuck in these bodies. But anyone that's had a dream or like has had astral body experiences know that like there's this ether point where like you're kind of going anywhere. But the first thing happened was I was talking to my animals, and I know this is going to sound super crazy, but when you're on this level, you can actually telecommunicate with animals. And I was my birds. Yeah, I know this is going to go way super nuts, and people are going to think I'm crazy. But the very first part of the whole bad trip was being able to communicate with my animals. I had birds that were in a cage, right? And they were like telling me like, you know, why are we in this cage? Like, this is really depressing. We're birds. We should be outside. Like, why are you keeping us in this cage? And it really hit me, because it's like, wow, like this is the reality of like life. And they're right. Like, why the hell are you in these cages? And so that kicked off this whole thing of like, and then like, oh God, it's like this whole story, it's going to sound crazy, but there was a certain part where after that, when I had my out of body experiences, people say when they have a near death, I had a near death experience pretty much. People say like, oh, when they're on the operating table, they can see themselves, or they go to the point of light or whatever. Everything, all the molecules started to come apart on everything, because I don't know if you guys know it. Reality isn't what it seems. Everything's vibration. Like this phone right here, it might seem solid, but it's literally, there's so much space in between all the molecules and atoms that you can literally phase right through it if you knew how to do it, because everything, there's nothing that is solid. Everything is moving vibration.
What do you mean by you? Like when you say you can phase through it, I mean, that's not true maybe, but
no, it is because,
yeah, well, in an ethereal form maybe,
right,
but like,
yes, but what I'm saying is everything's not how it seems. And that's another thing
yeah,
too.
that's true.
So it's like this whole trip, I can't give you like a timeline, like, okay, I had an out of body experience, this is my trip, and this is the end. Like, it was such a crazy experience. Okay, yeah. So I went singularity, all the molecules came apart, I went into the black hole, and there was literally, I thought I was dead at this point because it was all darkness, and I thought like, okay, I'm dead. Like, you know, did you guys ever listen to Alan Watts?
Yeah.
So he talks about this thing about like not fearing death, because a lot of people are afraid, like if you die and nothing happens, it's not going to matter because you're not even going to exist. You're not even going to feel it. You know, what's worse is if you are stuck in that stuff. So it's like, anyway, so I got to that point. I felt like I went to like the center of the earth at one point where, you know how the Egyptians, they built those pyramids where they had the shafts that go up to the stars.
Yeah.
There's something to that, because they feel like your soul, when you die, it needs to escape the ether, because the magnetic core of the earth wants to drag your essence into the center magnetically. And that's the whole thing about hell, is like they think it's all. Anyways, let me wrap this story up. I can tell you, I can go on for hours about this whole thing. Anyways, I wake up from this whole horrific experience.
Guy, can you mute your microphone? I'm sorry.
So let me just say, like, there's a lot of the story I haven't told about like being in the other side. Like, when I came to, it was almost like I was a whole other person. Do you ever see 2001: The Space Odyssey, when Dave Bowman goes through that shit and then he becomes like the baby? He becomes another thing. I became another thing when I got out of my body. It was like the old me died, and it was almost like the universe kind of like lifted up her skirt a little bit and was like, look, take a look at like what's really going on. And then, so like, after that, I don't want to say I have like powers or anything, but there's certain things that I'm more amplified to, like going into the freaking estate sales and being able to pick up on vibes, and like being able to see shit that like no one can see, and just other crazy shit like that. But anyways, so I woke up and my parents were like freaking out because they didn't know what was going on. You know, they didn't know I was like, you know, having a bad trip on acid. So they showed me a glass cabinet that my dad had Kachina dolls, and Kachina dolls or another whole subject that I can literally go into the whole esoteric spiritual nature of kachina dolls, man. Anyways, so I was out of body. I was having this other like unworldly experience, and my parents were like dealing with the caveman, the primordial me that was left on Earth, as my spirit was doing this other shit, right? So they're saying like I was I thought the kachina dolls were talking to me, and I smashed a glass cabinet with my fists and my hands trying to get them, and they were scared, and they were like, we cannot believe that you did not cut yourself. I smashed through glass and did not cut myself. And so when I woke up and I saw this and they told me this story, I'm like, dude, this was like the most nuts fucking thing that has ever happened to me. But anyways, yeah, that was one of the stories. And I learned, so what I learned is like, in life, no one should be afraid about death, because if nothing happens on the other side, like, you're never going to know. But I feel like you're what do you call it? You're a mighty mushroom, right? And you have a social security number and you think you're you. Everyone out there on the internet, you're not you. You're another thing. This thing that we have right here, this thrift shop hustler physical thing, this is the ego on Earth. We're not who we are. We're actually energy of some other thing. And that was another thing that was kind of like, oh, let me tell you about this little secret. Like, you're not, and that's the ego. I can go an hour just on the ego. The ego is what trips us up. And of course, you got ego, I got ego, everyone's got ego. We got to learn to kind of like, separate that from everything else, because, we're spiritual beings by nature. So,
But don't you, I mean, influence, we're empathic and empathetic and all these other things, and we are affected. So that, I mean, we need to, when there's a certain, I don't know if I want to call it like righteousness or something like that, but it's like, what after Earth, what happens then? It's like this. What is the purpose of doing anything? And there totally is. There's a, like, I think we're here for a reason, and it might be like you're saying, like, we might be droplets of an ocean, and in order for that ocean to grow, the droplets have to go far from home or something. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
Our purpose could be way beyond what we actually think it is. But in the end, like, in the pre-show, I was kind of thinking this, but I didn't really say it. It's like, you can get really, really deep into all these things, and it's entertaining, especially for me, because I live with as open mind as I possibly can. I'm a businessman, and certain things are real. Like, I have to eat food and all that kind of shit. But I try to keep things with an extremely, extremely open mind. But at the same time, you're like, yeah, like you gotta, if you're not asking yourself those questions, what are you doing here, first of all? And seriously, but I feel like,
no, I was laughing because whoever just showed up is gone now. They're
oh,
like,
that was Guy. No, he's my cousin. He's cool.
oh,
He's a
okay.
physician.
He's like,
He
what
just
the hell?
his wife probably busted his balls for turning it on or something.
Just like, why is there a crazy guy on the YouTubes? Get off of there.
Yeah. I think we have to have all kinds of conversations
the
on
thing
this
is,
show.
that whole experience, like, I'm a sane guy. Like, I'm not crazy. So it's
I don't
like,
think you're crazy.
yeah, I mean, that whole experience, I literally died. And when I came back from that, I was literally another person. I think like differently. It really changed my life, dude.
Did you die or did your ego die?
I
think
think
that's like, it's
I
really
think
referred
you're
to
right.
as ego
Yeah.
death.
I think
Yeah.
my ego died, literally. And
I've destroyed my ego and built it dozens of times.
And I think when people say, what do you call it? Like, I don't know what I'm talking about, but yeah, I think that's what happened for sure.
There's this, have you heard of
Jacob
medicine
wants
for
to
the,
say something.
Jacob wants to say something?
Yeah, I was just going to say that it has to do with your attachment to things and your identity. So when you're on that drug, your identity to yourself and your surroundings is gone.
But what is that identity?
It's what makes up what you think you are.
Right. And that comes down to like not realizing that we're spiritual beings. You know, we're so stuck in this third dimension that he's right. Like when you get it to detach from that, you
Yes.
literally are losing your mind because you've never been
What I'm saying
detached from that.
is like as tentacles of a sea anemone, all of us, like whatever you want to call it, at the same time, you're not you and you're not him, but you are though. If you really have that belief, you are and you're not, because the construct breaks down, but you need the construct to break down the construct. It's like I mean, a lot of the parts of our lives are like this. I mean, the wave particle duality of light is like a perfect example of like the impossibility of explaining the most simple processes. They have to be the very, 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 very small or the very, very big, because we live and understand a place in the middle. That's how we survive. We're animals. I know everyone wants to believe all this shit about like this or that, but we are fucking animals. Like our bodies, I'm saying. We have a spiritual connection maybe that other things don't have, and there's something about us that's certainly different, but it's also the same. So we have that duality as well. But yeah, I see exactly your line. I'm not trying to go too completely tangential. First, I want to thank you for the story. I have so many questions. And I just want to ask one.
Okay.
I'm going to let Jacob ask you a question too. Not let. I want to invite him to ask a question, and then we'll just go. I'm going to tell a story, and then we'll just go ape shit, whatever.
All right.
How much acid did you eat?
Oh, yeah, I actually took a lot. And just let me just explain the story I just told right now. Like, I honestly wanted to write a book about it because it was so life-changing. And I only told you guys about 10% of what I went through. There's literally a whole, like, it was crazy. But anyways, no, I took it. What was crazy is the guy that had it, he must have just put it on the paper, because when he handed it to me, it was soaking wet. And it was probably like maybe a half an inch squared, and it was like soaked in LSD. And
yikes.
Yeah, and like it was crazy, dude. Like I don't wish what I went through. Well, I kind of do. I don't wish the experience I went through on anyone, but I wish like people could be awakened. The end product.
What is the awakening that you're talking about? Like, why does it matter whether we know or not? Because, like, for me, like peace, love, understanding, and community are what is really important, and happiness and being happy and driving happiness. I don't know why that is, but I feel like I have a responsibility to some source, and that source is like, you have to drive this, like, it's your job. It's what you do. You drive people to be happy and express themselves as they wish. Like, I don't know. It's really weird. So, but that's my own perspective. What is that purpose? I mean, what is the purpose you're talking about?
Right. Well, I don't know. Like that's the whole thing is like, I feel like humans, not humans, but I mean, this generation of humans, we're so like into like watching television and entertainment and shit that's not even like real. You know what I mean? Like nature's real. When's the last time you put your foot on the grass? You know what I mean? Like actually barefoot on the grass. Like
yesterday.
Yeah. Well, okay. Well, not too many people can say that. We've gone so like 180 to where we were going before, and now it's like everything's just like, rat race, collecting money and all that. But what I meant by like the awakening is, it's kind of like, it was almost like the shackles were like released, and I was able to finally like just kind of like experience life how it should be, instead of always being like all like worried about everything, and like even like certain parts of death. Like sure, I'm scared of dying, but like it's something that it doesn't bother me anymore like it used to after that experience.
I'm not scared of dying. I'm scared of like suffering, and I'm afraid of causing other people suffering, and I'm afraid of never like seeing the people I love again. That's like only those things. Like the death itself, I don't fear that.
The thing that I trip on too is like I don't fear death, but I always think like the thing that kind of, I guess this is the only thing that kind of scares me a little bit about that whole thing is like to think of like that this is the only time we're going to experience this earth. Do you know what I mean? Like we're here for a certain amount of time to learn and experience, and that's it. Like you go on to something else, you do something else, or nothing happens. You know what I mean? There's those two things. Either something happens to your soul or nothing happens to your soul. You just cease to exist.
Well, I think it's interesting to consider the fact that your awareness as you know it begins at whatever age it begins for you, and to at least make assumptions about whether that awareness continues beyond your physical death is, you know.
Yeah, and who knows?
On because your awareness didn't. I mean, can you remember before you were alive?
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know. Not I.
And that's like what Alan Watts was saying. Like, you know, you didn't know anything, you know, before you died, or maybe before you were born. If you die and nothing happens, you're going to cease to exist. It's not going to matter anyways. So it's just like, enjoy your life now and just try to be the best person you could possibly be to everyone around you, you know? And that's
well, I mean, there's the other megalomaniacal side of that coin where you become like Napoleon or something, you know?
Yeah, and that comes to just like, oh, I want power, I want to be controlling, and that's a whole other thing in itself.
I've never had the desire to control anybody else or manipulate the will of anyone else. I don't feel that that's human. I feel like that's not human.
Yeah,
I just feel like it's I don't know. It doesn't.
Well, it's kind of like faulty programming with the desire to produce an outcome that you think is conducive to your survival. So if I control these people a certain way, or if I manipulate people in some roundabout way, I increase my chance of surviving.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a fear response where like they don't even know who they are, so they have to create a shell, and in order to do that, they have to like find the pieces to make something around them, and they do that through like manipulation.
Right.
I think it's pure ego. You know,
fear could arguably be tied to that desire to survive.
Yeah, no, I absolutely agree. I was just speculating a second postulate, but I also can't tell time. So,
so I'm curious, Chris. I mean, this wasn't your first experience with acid.
No, it was not. It was probably my third experience, and everything before that time was like the yay, the colors, and like the wall is like moving, and like yeah, and then this was just the harsh reality of like the harsh reality of reality. That's the crazy part. And like what do you call it? Mother's Mustache was saying in the chat like, oh, you know, mushrooms are the only way to go, be, you know, natural. I had bad trips on mushrooms too, man. Like,
I don't know if that's a bad trip though, man. I think you just
let me tell you.
I think you just got what you asked for.
Yeah,
I mean, it sounds like you asked for that, and it sounds like you asked for that, and that's what you received.
Maybe.
I mean, that mantra is there: seek and ye shall find. If violence ye seek, violence ye shall find. And if you're looking for Gucci perfume, you'll probably find it.
How did I know it was gonna go that route? I just knew. The Gucci perfume, it was gonna resurrect.
I'm gonna find that stuff and I'm gonna report back on that for sure.
Fuck yeah, dude! We should do a month. We should all have a month challenge to who like you can't sell it. You just have to stack bottles of it.
You have to find it.
And
but, well, that's no fair for you.
We have a limit. Like for a month.
No, I was gonna say like that's no fair for you. You can just pull out some secret stock you have socked away and be like, "Look what I found."
Accusing me of some sort of fraudulent behavior? You don't think I can keep a bet? I played poker for many years. I'm an honest bettor. I always pay my bets. Ask Guy LaFleur over there.
I'm just covering all my bases, man. That's the part of
me
that's
just
like always thinking.
I'm not a fucking scammer. I'm not a scammer.
I didn't call you a scammer. I just said it should just be me and Jacob.
How do I know you ain't gonna pull shit out of a box?
I found 2 bottles that you left behind at that Gary sale.
Dude, I had to get out of there pretty quick. I had so much work to do. I was only in the house for 40 minutes, less than 40 minutes, 30 minutes. What did you find today?
I found, I mean, what I got was, I found a lot of stuff. I didn't buy everything that I wanted to buy because he wasn't doing half off. But
Yeah.
I was like, so what will you do? So he ended up doing like 35% off on some stuff.
Dude, call him Uncle Gary. Like I went up, gave him a hug. Like, we know each other. I've bought from him for like 10 years. He knows exactly who I am. I call him Uncle Gary. And he like comes and gives me a huge hug. I love that guy. He's the shit. Dude,
Yeah,
he did the estate sale of Bruce Lee's Guru. Yeah, they flew the stuff up from LA.
Speechless.
Dude, crazy. And I heard speculation that he actually did Bruce Lee's estate sale as well. Did his estate clear out.
Wow.
Yeah. Good. Look, just put this on your list, man. Look, GaryGermer.com. I know it's like you're not in the city, but just keep up with the guy. I mean,
no,
I have some stuff. I have some stuff from a sale last summer. He did the estate clearance of a Russian billionaire who owned like an island in the Pacific Ocean in like an island country, and like I have some crazy.
Is that like a tattoo needle? No, it looks like a
after. Okay, well I'll make this my story since I'm going to tell a story too. So in Lake Oswego, Oregon, if you're not familiar with Lake Oswego, Oregon, like on Lake Oswego, it's a private lake and nobody can go to the lake unless you live on it. The lake is private property, the water is private property, which is really unique for lakes in general. It was a mountain and they dynamited it for the ore and then they filled it in and then like some big Apple guys probably live out there, some big Nike guy. I think Phil Knight or one of the who's Phil Knight and who's the other guy?
I don't know.
Can't remember his name. One of the Nike dudes. I think he lives on the lake. Well, this sale was in Lake Oswego, so they rented a spot, and what he did is he stacked up estate sales in the area, and then he rented a spot, and because these people don't want people in their houses, so he rented a secure location, and for the whole summer he did estate sales in Lake Oswego from these estates in Lake Oswego, and it was fire shit. I mean, the firest of the fire shit I've never seen. I mean, I'm gonna go through some of the things. So this is and there's no way I can go through all of it. There's just I bought a lot of it, and some of it I put like I have safes that I keep some stuff in because I have some pieces that are of exceptional value, and you will find them if you're in cities like San Francisco, Portland, LA. If you can get into the right connections, you can find some incredible things. So let's go through and talk about what's in this box. So the first piece is it's a little. These two pieces, we'll kind of show them together. Can you see those?
Yeah.
So this is fossilized mammoth tusk, and this has been tested. Okay. And what this was, most likely, is you had let's do it like this. So let's say this was the board, and this was like for spearing something, most likely. You see?
Oh, I see.
So you'd strap it here. You see that hole? You'd strap it, and then you see like it's a hook basically, but it's a harpoon. Like this isn't meant for it, but it's a harpoon, right? It's finely crafted out of like very, very high quality fossilized mammoth, and the tip is really worked. You can see that dark patina on it.
That's why I first thought it was like a tattoo thing because it had that stuff.
Yeah, it's not sharp enough to be that, and I don't believe that's what it is, but it totally could be. I mean, I brought it to an expert, and he said it was a harpoon, but I thought the tip of it was a little bit weird. What I actually thought it was, working edge here, it looks like this is a working edge, that it was used to mend nets.
Yeah.
And the other part here that was in the same little box This is this is also mammoth tusk, and it's highly used. You can see the over time, over thousands of years, and this thing is thousands of years old. There is, you see the oils broke down the tusk here.
Yeah.
Spot. You see that? And so we'll turn over the other side. You see how this side's not. You see how it still like has a sheen on it.
Right. Right.
What this was to pry something, like a lot of these. This was, for me, this was kind of like some fishing culture, and you know, this would like pry the net or pry something open. Not something too hard. It wouldn't be like to pry open shellfish or something, but maybe to get like, you know, meat out of a crab or something. I don't know. It's for something. It just feels nautical.
Right.
It's a little tool. It's Paleolithic, certainly. Back in those times, they really hadn't invented. So this is after this. This is before. This is one of the oldest pieces I have. This is called a swallow hook or a gape hook. This curved fishing hook. So what you would do is this rough spot, you would put a chunk of bait here, and when the fish grabbed it, it would turn sideways and get stuck in their throat, and you would pull it up. Before the modern hook was invented, most likely. And it's made out of, it appears to be, based on what I've researched, it's hard for you to see it in these pictures. Maybe later on Instagram or something I can post some pictures, but this, it's like made of the jawbone of like, or something like that, something really dense bone.
Yeah, it looks like a bone for sure.
Crazy layers on it. So, and this is another, I mean, I'm just picking some kind of random pieces from the sale. 24-karat gold. And what's crazy about this is it's very fine. You can see it's 24-karat gold, and it's pounded into a ribbon, and that ribbon is wrapped around silk. This is like golden silk, 24-karat gold wrapped around silk, and somebody did it by hand. It's old.
Crazy.
Yeah, no machines when this came out. So yeah, I'll show you one really intriguing piece. So this is a sea urchin spine. Okay, it's got a message carved into it. You can see it appears to be some kind of message, and then in some kind of signature. I don't think it's purely art, though. Maybe it is slightly artistic. I believe that this is some kind of, it's a message of some sort.
Spin it real fast and see if it does the message, because you see how it does that. It does that like portal kind of.
Yeah,
thing.
it's gonna draw. I don't want to fucking be opening up portals over here. But this is a sea urchin skull. I'm not aware of its age, but it you know, it's pretty interesting piece of art. And so this guy lived on this island, and you know, I talked to one of his heirs who was there, because I went like all 3 days of the sale because it was so cool. I actually just went to look at some of the stuff and decide whether I was going to buy it or not, because I'd never see it again. Then I kind of got to know Gary a little bit better. But these are called Ema, and these washed up on the beach, probably you know, World War II era. These are like burned. You can see it was like burned, probably from a bomb, I'm guessing. There's a whole box of these, and these are Shinto prayers. And they put them outside of the prayer house, but these are probably from, you know, the war. They have the age to be so, and they have a lot of them are burned and stuff. So pretty interesting, right?
Yeah, I would never think to get kind of stuff like that. I've never got stuff like that before that you're showing. I mean, I've got fossils and things like that, but nothing like that.
What's so challenging about it? The perception of its value, and what is it worth to you with your gut instinct, you know?
Yeah, I mean, it's very subjective, but these parts have a value. I mean, they really do. I sold. There was one. It was either human bone or pig bone, and it was a very finely carved hook, and I got it kind of I got it kind of assayed, and then I actually put it on eBay, and I think it sold for like $450. So
Wow.
yeah, some of the stuff is like, it's in. I mean, when are you gonna find a prehistoric gape hook? Try to find this anywhere on the internet. You're gonna see it in books. I promise you're not. You're gonna. It's gonna be hard for you to find somebody who has one for sale. And there's somebody who collects this shit. I promise you. You just have to find that guy.
Oh,
there's people that collect everything. What's up?
I was just saying, there's a collector for everything. It's.
That's right. We had like pin cushions that look like my butt.
I was just gonna say that. Not the butt part, but the pin cushion.
Video was awesome. I took it down because it had you having profanities, and I didn't want to put you out on the interwebs saying something dirty. But it was right after you say the F word. I tell Jacob the pincushion looks like my butt or something. It's funny. But yeah, dude, show us your haul, and I'm gonna post the link here if anybody wants to jump in. So we're just gonna go. I know Thrift Shop Hustler. You know,
yeah,
it's been an hour, man.
Yeah, I'm gonna hang out for a little bit. I'm still just kind of just hanging out, just relaxing.
Yeah, plug away, man. I'm muting and I'm muting. I have headphones on, but this is like muted. I'm trying to mute this so you can't hear it, but I'm finishing some drafts anyway. So yeah, let's listen. This is great.
So this is a 1930s kitty cyclist tin toy, and you can see that. Tin toys are highly collectible. Like, you're talking about collectors. These are like all levels, the inexpensive to like the really hard to find stuff. This is kind of in the middle. This is like 150 in its condition, 100 to 150. You know, if I wanted to move it fast, I could get 100 right now.
How much did you pay for that?
So Gary had it marked at 75.
How much?
He had it marked at 75.
Okay, that's a fair price.
Right. He did 50 for it today. So I kind of knew, because I've messed around with a lot of tin toys, and the larger, the more things that articulate, if it actually is in good running shape, which this one, it actually has a switch to stop and start. You can see on the back there.
Yeah, that's awesome. I love that toy.
Yeah, and you know, anytime it has a brand, and you can see where it's made from, you know, the US or Japan, and just the quality of the lithograph on it, you know, the more paint the better. You know, they're always going to have somewhere. If it has the box, it practically doubles the value in most circumstances.
Yeah, that thing is clean. I always look.
Do they get more valuable if they have a muffin-shaped haircut, or does that not?
Yeah, if this is the photo to sell it, sold.
The more muffiny, the better. I wanted to shout out to Mother's Mustache. She said she's loving my hat of the day. So anybody who thought I was silly or isn't wearing a hat, they're not getting compliments. Okay, we're all here to get compliments.
So anytime I see tin toys now, I grab them. And actually, American Pickers kind of turned me on to that, the collectability of tin toys, because I wasn't really, you know, you kind of see them, like when you go out there looking for them, the market's flooded with reproductions. So one way that you can tell is between how the metal is connected. If it's riveted, then it's going to be newer. If it's trying to think if it's like folded into, trying to think what the terminology is for that.
The metal's crimped together.
Right. If it's like crimped together, then it's typically older, and you can kind of tell by the markings on it. If it doesn't have a brand on it, then it's probably lower end, but it just depends what it is and how big it is and what it does. But
19th vintage says sometimes the boxes are worth more than the item. Do you have any experience with that?
No, I mean, that's case in point, because you might find a tin toy and you'll see comps that are in like $100, and you're like, why is the toy itself $20? But with the box, it's $100. So
yeah, because people played with the toys and they got rid of the boxes.
Exactly. No, that's the thing, is the box is harder to find than the toy. So
weird that mentality, that like the mentality that since there's less of them, it's worth more. It's very interesting. I mean, when it's something usable like gasoline, I understand it, but when it's like the box of a toy, it's completely absurd.
well, because you're the collector who has the box. You're that guy.
I'm not I don't have any boxes. Don't insult me like that, okay?
Not you. I mean you as in the guy.
I'm trying to explain yourself. You're really starting to bother me.
I'm done. Anyway, moving right along. Another
Awesome. You're gonna show us that perfume, right?
Huh?
Let's see that perfume. I want to see that perfume.
Oh, I'm gonna make you wait. So
No.
another thing that I look out for now is like tin or cast iron banks, either mechanical banks or still banks, coin banks. And so at Gary's sale, he had some rare banks, and I immediately knew that I had to be in on these.
Can I ask you a quick question? How many of Gary Germer's sales do you think you've gone to?
I've been to 2 or 3. I've definitely been to his sale a couple times, because I recognize him for sure.
Yeah. He's super pro, man. He's really.
And he only does like high end, like antique stuff.
He does the best sales. It can be hard to find discounts, but you'll find gaps that are amazing. Obviously, like there's certain things he's just like, I don't care, I'm bored of this shit. Like, just get rid of it. I don't want to look at it. And so that's awesome. And then he highlights the awesome pieces. He brings out like nice cases, and you still get great deals. Like if you were a collector of some of those bowls and stuff,
yeah,
because they're great prices, and you can see the item right there. But yeah, man, keep going. Tell me what I missed. Give me that bank.
Let me show you a couple of these. I can kind of power through these, but this is a what is this? A savings deposit Kitten brand cast iron bank.
Wow, that's really interesting. I definitely almost remember picking that up and thinking, wow, that's weird.
Yeah, you can see the high detail. It's branded.
Yeah.
You know.
That was on one of the shelves downstairs, right?
This was on the main floor.
Yeah. That's what I mean, the main floor. When I say downstairs, not the basement.
Yeah, okay. And what's cool is this actually has a like a safe lock mechanism on it. And this
That's really cool.
You know, this was like 30. He had it marked at like 35 or 40 bucks, and he did like 25 on it. For me, this is like a $250 cast iron.
You're so sick. There's so much to learn from you.
And then here's another one. Again, I'd never seen one like that bank, so I knew that it was a more rare, higher quality.
It's weird. There's a toy guy who goes to like all of his sales. He just must have missed this one. He's like one of the best known toy experts on the West Coast. I see him a lot.
Anytime I see photos of these I didn't see these in the photos.
No, I didn't see anything I bought in any of the photos, dude. Nothing. There's not one thing I bought that's in any photo.
Anytime they promote like the toys or the coins, like it's a madhouse and the stuff's gone. But this stuff was left. Here's another one right here. This is a lion cast iron.
I love that. I love that.
It's old. This is like 1910 probably. And it has so much of the original paint on it.
No, dude, that color is just like, you cannot replace that. It's so sweet. Like it has that really awesome patina and the
And this one has a single screw that holds it together.
Tell Erica as well, like, I know I'm not the boss of her, but if she wants to come and talk, get the fuck over here. We're not gonna like listen to her scream from the background.
So yeah, this cast iron animal banks, it's hard to tell if it's old or new. You kind of have to.
Hi, I'm not feeling too good tonight, so.
Well, you look great, so.
I don't look like a scary nun. He gave me his sickness that he had last week.
I'm ill.
Next, she'll have a haircut, and then she'll be in trouble.
So yeah, this was another one that was like 25 or 30 bucks, and
that is an awesome piece, man. It's just
you
really have an
really old.
I did not see that. I totally did not see that. I would have paid $25 for that. 35. I would have paid $35 for that. It's just so fun.
This is a larger one, and the larger the better.
Dude, those are amazing. Those are so fucking sick.
It's a Japanese safe, and it has a key lock with a little on a door, and it's high detail on pretty much every panel, and this one's in really great shape. It didn't have the key.
Is that cast iron? It doesn't look like iron. That looks like brass or something.
It is cast iron. It's just like brushed with a gold tone.
Okay, cool.
And then on the, it's hard to see, but there's a patent date there, and this is 1890s.
Holy shit!
Right here.
That's cool.
And if you have the original key, it's like having the original box.
I'm sure.
Bumps the value up. But this is 150 right here. This is what this probably will go for. And then the last one I grabbed, he had a couple more, but they didn't have like brands or any kind of date stamp on it, so I kind of let those sit.
Did he tell you that there's 60 more boxes in the attic full of toys and everything else, like very similar items to where they just didn't have time to price them, and they didn't want to overflow the house with stuff. So in a month, they're doing the second one.
Oh yeah, I did hear that.
For even longer. So it's gonna be crazy. Like you gotta be first to get in there. You're coming with me to be first to that sale.
I will do that. I'm not gonna miss out on some of this. But here's a junior cash register. And again, you see the high detail, you see the original paint. If you see enough cast iron, you can look at the cast iron and tell that it is old,
It's really old, yeah.
And again, on this one,
the patina on the paint is so sweet.
You have where it was made, who made it, and that's what you want to look for. That's how you can pretty much guarantee it's not going to be.
Even if it doesn't have a patent date, if it has a patent number, you can trace that patent.
Right. And again, this guy, I think is this one's like $250. And again, I got this for like $30.
Yeah. I mean, those things don't sell overnight, though. They'll take a while.
Yeah,
they're great at
how quickly. Some of them will probably go within a week. Some might sit for a couple months, but
yeah, cool. That's
when
good.
the person who wants it, they will pay up for it.
You just have to sell one and you're broke even, right?
Yeah. And then I'll show you the perfume that, and it's not like you missed out on this, but this box right here and this one right here, I got these two. They were still left.
Let me see the gray box.
Yeah.
What's the gray box?
This is Jolie Madame.
Okay. Angelina Jolie?
No, I don't think so. It's by Pierre Balmain, Paris.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not. Like I said before, I'm not an I'm certainly not an expert in perfume. I just know that there's some really good shit out there.
This is made in France, and
like knock the boxes everywhere. I found like boxes on the floor under the table. Like there were shirts on top of the boxes, and I kind of moved them all back to. But nobody paid $3 on the first day or the second day for those.
Right.
So what's that bomb? Did you look either one of those up? You obviously did before you bought them because you don't know shit about perfume, right?
No, I just grabbed them because I figured it. I probably would get hurt. This was like a $17 perfume.
Okay.
It sells in 2017. This one is like a $40 perfume right here.
And if you had my
1 ounce, this is 1 ounce. This is funny.
It's all about finding those fragrances that are just hard to find, and you'll kill. Good eye though. I'm glad you found. Is that kind of the extent of what you found at that sale?
I also found a couple shells, and I can grab those right here.
Ooh, shell.
You can see.
Oh, I have a bunch of those. If you want some of those, I'll give you some of those. You cannot sell that. Do not try to sell that. That's an endangered species.
This?
Yes. Don't sell it on eBay. Seriously, you'll if it gets flagged by somebody, you will get a 7-day suspension, and there's no way to turn it off.
How do you know this is endangered?
Because I can tell it's a red abalone. You cannot sell parts of that.
Got you. Okay. Well, thank you for telling me that. Yeah, this was $5.
Yeah, it's a beautiful piece. They're awesome to have. Just do not try to sell them. I have some that are like as big as a dinner plate, dude. You got to see these things. They're crazy. I mean, they're so rare to find them that big, but I can't sell them. So they're out in the garden right now, going back to the earth.
And then there was this guy right here.
Is that a turd? Elliot, it looks like a turd, right? Do you see it? Show Elliot. Elliot wants to see. This is show and tell.
Yeah, show me the turd. I want to see it.
Show it in its turd fashion.
I'm an expert on turds.
A turd spurt?
Yeah,
a turd spurt.
What is that? Is that a snail?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a really, really nice snail.
Oh yeah, it goes nice.
So Elliot,
yeah. Hey everybody.
Elliot,
Hey.
I saw your. I saw that Rolling Stones 0506 tour zip up hoodie. Man, that thing is sick.
Yeah, that's a pretty sweet little grab.
I can't find any comps on that, can you?
No, I can't find any comps on that. But like you said, it could be a roadie sweatshirt.
It's a tour jacket. Definitely a tour jacket. It could be anybody. So like sometimes what they'll do is if it's like a big tour like the Stones, let's say even you deliver food, you don't even work on the set or anything, you deliver food. You can be bona fide, they give you some stuff, and that's how they identify you as being like somebody who can like walk in during the tour or whatever. So it could be just about anybody who had it. When I said roadie, just like it could be anybody, but they're not going to produce something that just says 0506 for like the general public.
I know, it's kind of random, but yeah, I think I threw it up for like what's that?
It's definitely real. I mean,
oh yeah, yeah. I think it's authentic. I think I threw it up there for. I think I threw it up for like $50 or $60. I mean, I literally paid like
that. Don't do that. Don't do that. Just sell it for way more than that. I'm telling you,
like 150
for like $170, dude.
I bought it for like $2.50. So
I don't care. It's too cheap. I'm telling you, seriously. Like, put it up higher. You'll make more money on it.
Because I'm at the
market. You're driving the market down. That price is so low because that's a really rare item, man. You really found something good. You really did. Wow. That was a good eye. It's an awesome piece. Really awesome piece.
I'm gonna just go update the fucking listing right now because I deserve more than. No, that's good. I thought about it because I saw listings anywhere from like I just looked like Rolling Stones tour sweatshirts, whatever. You know, you got $30, $50, $300. Like I wasn't trying to, you know.
Yeah, nothing is. There weren't a lot of like solds I could find out there on the interweb, but I did find a couple, and nothing was below $150. Just so you know.
Yeah.
And you know there were more than a dozen of those between.
It's gonna be like people who looked at it today and they were like, "Oh, $50, that's not bad." They come back tomorrow, $150.
I've totally done that. It's your item. You can price it however you want. You offered an introductory deal of $50. If you were too dumb not to buy it, who cares? I'll go buy it right now if you don't change the price.
Bam! Up to now you got to pay the full price. But yeah, it was definitely a good haul yesterday. I found like, I think probably there's like, I don't know if somebody died who wears 3XL, but there was like tons of 3XL stuff everywhere. I found batches of, I got 3 Harley Davidson shirts right in a row. Gorgeous. And then I found 4 Tommy Bahama shirts all next to each other. And then, I mean, Polo, Ralph, Tommy Hilfiger, like just, it was insane. Like I just had, that was like one of my best hauls.
So you're building your clothing inventory right now. Is that right?
Yeah.
Awesome.
So,
you felt like you got some good pieces?
What's that?
You said you felt like you got some really good pieces.
I got some really good stuff. I got, I mean, even like some cool vintage stuff. I got like an old Red Sox World Series sweatshirt. I got that Rolling Stones thing. I got some of those like Columbia PFG fishing shirts.
Those are so expensive
so yeah.
around here. I can't buy them. I really like to sell them. The prices dropped significantly on that. They used to really sell for much better money, and they were easier to find.
Yeah.
But now here they start at $13 at the like thrift stores, and it's like it's too much. So and then by half price day, because they actually are popular, they're gone.
Yeah. Yeah, but overall, I was like just super happy with my haul. Like I think awesome. I got almost.
Congratulations for getting out there and pounding the pavement and getting it done. You have an eye, man. You definitely have an eye. Like the North Face stuff and this stuff, you're on the right track.
Thanks,
I mean, my advice to you going forward is just diversify. Anything specifically, those first clothing items you buy, it doesn't matter what they are. They're going to take a while to sell them. It's going to take a minute to figure them out. So
yeah, absolutely.
No, I wanted to welcome the second. So we have both Death Piles in the house. Wait, we have Death Piles and Death Pile Thrift.
My nemesis.
No, dude. Later on, we're going to give you both squirt guns filled with acid, and whoever dies first loses the name, like rollerball or something. So, man, what's going on? Tell me what happened, Death Piles, this weekend. Did you get out of bed, put down the bong, and get out there and do it?
Yeah, put down the bong. Yeah, I got something pretty cool. I kind of want to see what you guys think of it, and if you have any info, possibly, to show it to you. I got this guy right here.
What in the fuck is that?
It's like a dwarf. It's like solid wood. It's like hand painted, very intricate thing.
Dude, seriously, this is talking about multiple dimensions, and this motherfucker pulls out elves and shit.
Is that one of the seven dwarfs, or like a kicked up seven dwarf?
That's one of the things I don't know. Like he looks like Doc a little bit. Like he has the glasses.
Yeah.
Got a very feminine face to it.
That is an intense troll statue or dwarf statue.
It's like half the size of me. I don't know. It's pretty cool. It's all hand painted. It's like a solid piece of wood. I don't know.
That thing is crazy. It looks like it was used to hang like a sign or something, huh? Like
I hope it's like some sort of Disney prop or something. Something back in the day. I don't think it is though. But
is there anything on the bottom?
Like you can never tell.
There's felt on the bottom. But yeah, there's no like signature or like
so many Disney experts out there. Take some pictures and start sending it out in places. You might have something awesome. I don't know, man. Once you connect with me, what'll happen to you is you'll start to find better things.
Better than this? This thing's awesome.
Exactly. No. I'm taking credit for your find.
Oh, okay.
I'm just kidding. It really looks. How heavy do you think that thing is?
It's probably like 20 pounds or something like that.
Wow, it's very intricately carved, and the painting is really, really beautiful. I just really don't know where it would come from. It looks like it's from a theme park, certainly.
Yeah, it's got all these like Greek themes to it. It's definitely hand painted. It's like hand carved.
Yeah. So. Interesting.
Like
can you give us a little bit closer look of it? Like, can you move it closer to the camera? I want to see the paint.
Did you say it's carved of one piece?
Yeah, it's one piece of wood. I don't know if you can do this.
It's really weird.
And what did you pay for that? I'm just curious.
I paid $20 for this.
That's very reasonable.
I might have to pass on it for $20 because I don't have a place to put it. My wife would kill me if I put that in my living room.
What does it have in its hand? Like, what is that staff thing?
So it's like a candelabra type thing.
Oh, that's what it is. Okay, that's cool. It's a candelabra.
But I feel like this little piece could be replaced pretty easily. Like, it's the least intricate part of the piece.
It's so weird.
Yeah, I know.
I wouldn't ask any less than 3 for that.
Oh yeah, it's so weird. That's a 7 dwarf. Kayla from Hazel Heart Vintage thinks it's a dwarf.
It's totally.
Look at the eyes. Yikes. Mother's mustache is like, look at the eyes. Yikes. The painting is amazing, Kayla.
Yeah, pretty cool piece.
So what else did you find?
We got another Harley jacket. That was pretty cool.
God damn it. Everybody's finding the Harley stuff. I'm getting left out.
Yeah. That was $20, so that's pretty cool.
Oh,
All day on that, definitely.
I picked up a Bill Walton like signed shirt.
What? Where the fuck did you get that?
Just at a garage sale. It was like 50 cents.
Are you kidding me? Okay, I need to shut up so I can see the screen. Talk again and show that thing.
So this was 50 cents. It's a Bill Walton signed "Where's Walton" shirt. What's that?
I thought you meant like the Bill Walton from Walmart. Wasn't that his name?
Or, I don't know.
Who's
I think
the
it's
founder
Bill
of
Walton. He was like a basketball player back in the day. Yeah.
Okay. Cool shirt.
You got a
Bill
rain
Walton. American.
Schooner, Los Angeles, Hawaiian shirt. The Dodgers. These are pretty rare, actually, the Dodgers version of the rain spinners.
Sam Walton. If you find anything signed by Sam Walton and it's a psychedelic,
So, I don't know. I found other stuff, but it's in the other room.
Cool. You say like you had a good weekend. Did you find some stuff that you're gonna make some money on? Is that Rain Spooner or what? Who's the manufacturer?
It's actually like the Dodgers version of that is like $100 shirt. Because like I put it on for that day, and then I decided I can't keep it because I'm not going to spend $100 on a Hawaiian shirt. So,
well, you're not spending it. What did you actually spend on it?
Oh, I spent $1. But I'm not going to keep it if I can sell it for $100. So
that's definitely my mentality. Is if it's worth too much, I can't keep this.
Right, and that sucks because like if you have like an eye for like cool stuff and like you want like cool things, most of the time it's going to be worth something. You can't keep it because I bought like this little coin pouch once and it was like 50 cents and then I couldn't keep it because it was worth like $50. So it just continually happens.
$50? Oh, well, I mean, you gotta set yourself. You gotta give yourself a little allowance. Like when you mowed the grass and your dad gave you a quarter, you gotta do that.
Right. But yeah, I could keep it, but I'd rather sell it.
Ah, jeez. You resellers. You're like those guys who go out and buy Super Nintendos and like sell them for $170.
Yep.
I would.
Dude, there's so much internet hate for the people who went out and bought those things and resold them.
People have been doing that for a long time.
Yeah, people do that
like,
every year at Christmas. Like that happened with the original Teddy Ruxpin. Like this was before the internet too. People bought them up and they were like standing on the corner selling them in like Times Square for like $1,000. Like it's been a thing forever. I mean, people are gonna try to manipulate supply and demand to benefit themselves. That's what we're like. That's what we are sometimes. But Teddy Ruxpin's the new ones. I have a bunch of them. I've never scalped anybody for toys before, but I did buy a bunch of them because I really think they're cool and I know they're going to run out. I absolutely know it. Like I called the company to place a large PO and they were like, the last ones are going out in October and we're having some supply problems, so we're not going to get any more. So those are going to be the last ones and that PO is full, so sorry. I would try to buy 100. And I mean, I have a legitimate business. Like my business is totally legitimate.
See you,
Thrift
Chris.
Shop. Thanks, Chris.
Oh, yeah.
It was so great having you on the show. Thanks for sharing your story. That went in the craziest direction.
That shit was all over the place. I wish I could tell that story in a articulate manner where people would understand what I'm saying, but it's just all over the place. Anyways, guys. Yeah. Thank you guys. Have a
Peace.
good week, man. We'll see you guys on the webs for sure.
Yeah, man, I'll catch up with you. Thank you so much, man. I really appreciate you. I appreciate your channel, and thanks for contributing some like dope ass shit.
All right, guys. Take care.
Later.
Peace, man. God, if you guys didn't see that before, it went like way Twilight Zone. It was fucking amazing. I love this show. This is the best show on the internet, by the way.
I was waiting for you guys to start talking about like The Secret and Oprah and some other weird bullshit.
Dude, it did not move in the Jeffrey Dahmer direction, not the fucking Oprah direction. It went in the whole opposite. Like, hi, I'm Martha Stewart. I'm here to fillet your son.
Yeah.
My story was going to be a story about a guy who. My story was a little bit too funny because his story was a little bit too serious and a little bit too esoteric, you know. But now that the show is over and we're just talking, I'm gonna tell that story because it's fucking hilarious. This guy, there was a guy. He lived close to me in downtown Portland, and I am a botanist, and I have been for a really long time. I'm university trained as a botanist. That's like my background. But I've been reading books since I was like. Could read about like the forest and mushrooms and biology and all that stuff. It's like a huge calling for me, and it's a huge hobby. So a friend of mine was asking how to find psychedelic mushrooms, and I don't advocate that anybody does it. I don't have anything to do with it. I'm not like involved in it or anything like that. My name is, I just thought it was cool because it looks like a mushroom and an M at the same time, but I don't have anything to do with like that kind of a mushroom. But I told him like, he asked me if you want to find them in the wild, like, and I kind of said, they look like this, here's a picture of them. You know, I don't want you to get hurt, so if you send me a picture, I'll tell you whether that's the one or not. And, you know, he did, and I did. I was like, those are real. You know, they're illegal to possess. If you get caught with them, you'll get in a lot of trouble. Even if you find them out in the wild, they're illegal in Oregon. And 2 days or 3 days later, I don't see him for like 3 days. And I told him like very specifically, like, I'm not going to give you any advice, but I can tell you that one mushroom is very potent. And if you eat those, you probably shouldn't eat any more than that, especially if it's your first time. Well, he found like 50, and he ate all of them.
Wow.
Yeah, all of them. So the story he told me, like, everything kind of broke down and melted, and he was obviously like walking, and he was coming in and out of like trances, and he kind of came to, and he was in a tree. This is not a story about me, by the way, at all. Like, it really is about another person.
Now it definitely is about you.
Bullshit.
God, I don't know if I want to tell this story now because now it totally seems like it's about me, but it really is a story about somebody else.
Yeah. Hey guys, you know where to get some drugs? I'm asking for a friend.
So Mike, the guy's name is Mike, and what he did, he took all of them. And he kind of freaked out. And two of the things that he told me is he remembered, he kind of like, that guy was talking about connecting with animals. He like connected with the squirrels, and he was in a tree, and he like had to poo, but he didn't want to get away from the squirrels. So he took a dump in the tree or out of the tree, and he didn't have his socks on. And he was like, where did my socks go? And he wiped his ass with his socks or something. He found them later. You know, communing with the squirrels.
Well, I mean, there wasn't a squirrel involved in my case, but I mean, hasn't everybody wiped their ass with a pair of socks at some point in their life? I mean,
not me.
It seems like some. No.
I mean, why would you waste a sock when there's like leaves? You're in a tree.
True. Yeah. I mean, just you could grab the squirrel and wipe your ass with him. I mean, there's so many options when you're out there in the woods tripping balls.
Have you seen those nibbling teeth that a squirrel has?
No, you use the fluffy tail part. Come on, man. What are you, a rookie?
No, are you a rookie? Do you know what the fluffy tail part is connected to? The fucking jaws, okay?
I was hoping we weren't going to go down this route. I was attacked by a squirrel once.
Were you?
Yes.
Did it get your nuts?
Boo, hiss.
No, it severed my lip.
Right. Got you in you had a squirrel hanging from your face?
Yeah.
That's intense stuff right there.
How long ago was that? Tell that story.
So, back in the early 90s, young boys would push around a lawnmower make some cash in the neighborhood. You
Pick up a
see?
quarter here and there.
So my friend and I, you know, we're just going through the neighborhood, and there's two squirrels just, this is actually what it looked like. They're just doing this.
Can you actually do that again? I can't hear. It's a little bit loud.
You know, they were probably like, it was a mating thing, a ritual of sorts. And I just
They were excited when they saw you. They thought your haircut was like another squirrel, so they could go into this meeting.
So anywho, I was underneath that branch.
I'm gonna mute.
I was underneath that branch on that day when that squirrel fell upon me, and it clawed me pretty good. Clawed my soul, some might say.
That's pretty intense.
It is. It was. I'm scarred. So I have a tendency to avoid squirrels. This is true. You can ask anyone. Specifically.
So I know if somebody calls me for a raccoon release, like a new client calls me for a raccoon release, and they mention you, I'll make sure that we have both. We'll have animatronic squirrels, real squirrels, and what we'll do is we'll put on the real squirrels, we'll put little vampire teeth on them. And like one will be chewing on a pair of those wax lips from like Halloween. We'll get you out of there. We don't want you buying up those iron banks.
But yeah, I don't like squirrels. Don't like them. Not fond.
Not a fan.
But I will slam on my brakes. I will slam on my brakes to not hit a squirrel, but I don't like squirrels.
Why would you kill a poor innocent squirrel?
Exactly. I just can't bring myself to do that. I'm not.
I mean, the squirrel where I'm from, there's not a lot of upland game, so the squirrel is like very like it's a delicacy. My grandfather would make a fricassee, like a fricassee. They call it fricassee in Cajun like French. Go out, shoot some squirrels, clean them up, put them in a do a light fry on them, and then like chopped up vegetables and make like a sauce piquant. Put that over rice. Squirrel is like really.
Is that what you plan on feeding Erica and I?
No, I have some
dinner now. I'm expecting squirrel.
I have some pizzle I froze that will break out the pizzle.
Is that Snoop Dogg language for piss?
No, pizzle. It was on the menu. Look at Instagram. Look at my feed on Instagram. I was at Pho, Oregon, and it's like pho with pizzle. It actually says that, pizzle. And I was like, ooh, that sounds like it's wiener, like the wiener. And I looked it up, and it is totally the wiener. They serve the wiener at Pho, Oregon. If you want to chew the wiener, you can go to Pho, Oregon, and they'll put it in your soup.
I don't have to go anywhere to chew a wiener. Anyway, so how did you like that pizzle?
I didn't order the pizzle. I was with my wife. I would get embarrassed.
Fair enough.
I mean, you can.
So are you guys like cousins or like related? Is this your brother or something like that?
Is who my
Don't
brother?
you have a relative? I'm sorry.
We're related by Portlandia.
Okay.
Yeah, we live.
Doesn't my
same.
have like a relative or something that comes on here that I have not met? I'm sure.
Yeah, he's hanging out in the chat right now. Let's tell him live.
Okay, I just assumed that you guys might be that relationship. I
Sleeping
didn't know.
child, vomiting wife, keeping it quiet. So he's kind of like his wife like tells him what to do basically. He's kind of like it's really funny.
So who is?
I'm totally smearing him right now. We should do a roast. He's totally lurking because he's too afraid to like talk. He really has where he lives. I mean, he doesn't need picking to survive or whatever. And his wife puts up with it or whatever. He's a doctor and he's like one of the hardest working people ever, man. He works so much. And he like picks as well, but down where he is, it's just you don't find the same kind of cool shit that we find.
Yeah, I'm just kind of curious, like who these other people are. Like I don't know if I've met Jake or Outpost.
Oh, sorry.
No, I'm Outpost,
So-
but
I'm going to tell you the story about Outpost real quick, and it's hilarious. Jake was supposed to do the first show with me, but since he's a baby and he doesn't know how to honor his commitments, he canceled at the last minute. So I had to do the show, and because the show, what I say is P.T. Barnum said, fleas grow on peas or something. I don't know. But he said the show must go on. I think that is the right one. So we had a great dynamic. We were talking for a while. So I was going to ask you to come be on the first show, but I didn't get your contact. So I just looked up Death Files, and I found Elliot by accident.
Yeah.
And I said, hey, man, you want to be on the show? And he was like, yeah. I felt a weird vibe, and I was like, you're not the dude, right? Well, I'll do the show anyway. So I was like, oh, fuck it, let's do it. And then, I had to make sure that he wasn't like Jeffrey Dahmer or something, which he might still be.
You still don't know.
No. Yeah, it's hard for me to tell anymore. After that show, it's hard for me to tell anymore.
No, dude, it was fate. Fate brought us all together, and here we are talking about.
I thought it was the promise of pancakes and silly hats.
What is that from?
I'm gonna require hats to come on this forum. By the way, I mean you guys really need to up
You
your
get a hat. You get a hat real quick.
But bam.
All
All right. Oh, here we go. Stand by.
Jake counts because his haircut is so good that this is a hat. I'm just kidding. I don't know. I'm trying to find something to make. I'm trying to find something to make fun of you about, but it's hard because you're so good at what you do. I can't make fun of you for that. Is that
What's happening? Like right now, I don't.
All right, let's do it. I'm ready.
I just got attacked by a raccoon.
What do you
Is this suitable?
Oh my god. There we go. Now we're keeping it real.
Dude,
By
check
the way,
this
this
is
is-
modular. Check it. Yeah.
Holy shit!
All right.
All right,
Yeah.
I'll put on a hat.
I'm serious.
One sec.
I can't
one
believe
sec.
people are still watching this bullshit.
Oh wait, just kidding. My hair is a hat.
Dude, your yellow hat just went way down in stock. We all came really hard with hats right
Oh my god, you guys would you excuse the host for a moment while I bring the game up a little bit? Can you bring that game up?
now. This is like I just blew my load with this helmet, and now
Oh yeah. I'm gonna go and
he's gonna come back with some like. Just do it. Just go.
Is that Aragon? I see.
It's something like that. It's some of the something.
Oh, guys, we're gonna end up all finally. Look at yes! What the fuck?
Wait, where'd he go?
Hey, don't leave. Come back with all that sex appeal.
Dude, yeah, now you can't get on. Put that hat back on you.
Oh, you put that hat on. You put that hat.
Do it too. Okay, guy. Since you just joined the chat, do you have yeah? Put on some headphones. Don't you have headphones? Put on headphones so nobody can hear you.
No, he doesn't have headphones.
What? You don't have headphones? Can you speak and tell, like, say anything you found this weekend or anything that happened, or do you have to be too quiet?
This is good. What? And that is the purplest tank top I've ever seen a man wear. So purple.
Oh,
Oh, he's got a mandolin.
Yeah. While he shows you his mandolin, I'm gonna go.
All right, I gotta take this helmet off. It's a medium, and I have like a 3XL head.
I'm gonna change my hat too.
Jesus Christ!
once again, the hair takes all.
There we go. Oh, that's a good one. Oregon Youth Hunt.
Oregon?
I reckon I got this one right here today. It's a pretty orange hat.
That's a good one. I like it. Oh, I picked up a. What is that? He's got water. He's got water.
Okay, I think he's
All right. He just held up 2 gallons of water.
using signs. He's using symbols
thirsty?
to communicate.
See, he's not like what. What did the water mean?
It's thirst. I think he's saying we're all thirsty.
Oh, here's another one.
Thirsty. We're thirsty for YouTube attention.
You got off.
Yes. Oh, he's gone.
Uh-oh.
Oh,
A nostril?
Gimli. Gimli is now taking the place of Aragon.
Wait a minute. Is that a Fraggle? What is it?
It's dwarf.
What? Wait, Corey, talk. Corey has
Make
to
a noise so you can.
be big. Oh my god.
Nice.
Excellent. That is an awesome whatever you're wearing.
It has hair out of its nostrils.
Yeah, we all do.
Yeah.
It's the consequence of being an adult.
At this age, it's just hairs coming out of all the.
Out of your nose and your ears.
Pretty much.
Oh.
There's a human underneath that thing. Well, not really.
Mask.
Yeah.
So freaky, right?
That thing's awesome. The hairy
Murderer status. When you pet the nose hair, look at this nose hair.
Is that part of your mighty collection? Is that?
Oh, this is for sale on eBay.
Huh? How much are you that going for? Is it
I'm
signed?
asking $60 for it.
Say that again.
I'm asking $60 for it.
Oh.
I really think it's an awesome piece. The detail's really awesome. Look at the nasty warts on the nose and stuff. It's all hand painted. It's the Paper Magic Group.
Yeah, it's
I
cool.
don't know if anybody knows.
Oh.
I tend to like, I'll get some Halloween stuff and then put it up, and then at Halloween, like, I'll sell some really high-end, interesting stuff. Most of the year it hangs out, but it's not, you know, I price, like, I only buy like really weird old latex masks and stuff and older costumes, and you know, I price them really high. Like, a couple of years ago, I had a purple leather Nordstrom jacket that was like, you know, in the size of somebody between like 5'10" and 6'1" or something. And I had it there like it was perfect for like a Joker costume, and the Batman movie came out, and I had it listed for a crazy price, like $299. And somebody offered me $275 for it like a week before Halloween, and I got it from the bins. So
I love when people offer
yeah.
reasonable amounts. Like literally within dollars of what you're asking, you're like, what?
Yeah.
Yes, of course. It's yours.
Like, it's my job to make sure you get amazing deals on stupid crap you don't need. Oh man, the chat's going crazy, crazy, crazy. Crew.
Do we have any questions coming in? Because it'd be.
I mean, I didn't open up the forum for questions. But if anybody has any questions, I mean, we've just been talking about nonsense for 2 hours or God knows how many hours.
Like, how do you see the chat?
The chat's on. So what you want to do is mute you want to go to the live broadcast and mute. You want to mute it, and then you can just see. You can jump back between the Google Hangout and.
Okay, cool.
And you can break the chat window out too.
Yeah, totally. When I pop the chat out, sometimes it like crashes, so I prefer to keep it in the other window.
Yeah. Well, I have a computer that's newer than 2013.
The forum of this show is like, if you have a question, jump in here and ask it. Like, I don't want to pull questions out of the chat. Like, we can interact with the chat and stuff, but I feel like if you want to ask a question, you need to like jump into the chat. Here's the link. You got a question? Show your face. You don't even have to have a hat.
Guy, we got Mother's Mustache.
Yeah.
And
I mean,
Stephanie's Threads.
People are working right now and listening to the show, so that's why I try to really keep it going and talking about interesting stuff.
What is I want to open this up to everyone. What's a category of stuff that you want to get more knowledgeable in?
Everything.
Don't answer it all at once.
Every category.
That's a good question. It's hard. It's a tough one because like I'm I'm just getting my feet wet with just clothes and stuff right now. But I see moving forward, like for me, I'd like to eventually try to sell like, or try to source like luxury new items, like wholesale, like find wholesale new items, because the profit margins are a lot higher on those types of items. You don't have to sell as many to make, stuff like that. So I would love to learn more about high end, Gucci, Prada, purses, shoes, whatever.
You can find all that stuff post-consumer. You can find all that stuff post-consumer, and your margins will be much greater, and you'll take much less risk. So in my inventory right now, I have Versace, Gucci, Prada, Kate Spade. I just sold my last Hermes piece, but that stuff's really hard to find. So, but I mean, I find these luxury brands out in the field. I've got 2 pairs of really, really high-end snake. What is that guy's? Allen Edmonds shoes. If you find it in great condition, I understand the wholesale lot like mentality. It's much easier to inventory it. It's much easier to identify it.
Yeah.
But personally, and it's my business decision and not yours, and this is like a forum that I'm trying to create. So, but I just like I like the post-consumer side of it. It makes me feel like I'm bringing it back to where somebody can actually use it again and not just be sitting somewhere. Somebody who's actually going to find a purpose for its existence again.
Yeah, you just sound like a salty old reseller to me most of the time.
A lot of people encounter this issue, and it would probably be good to address it now. What are the key things that you look for in a piece to kind of verify its authenticity? Just from the get-go, when you see it, when you touch it, what things are you looking for to be like, yeah, this is legit?
Quality. It's easy.
Absolutely. I'm on your page.
Sure, but I mean, even that can be subjective to people who are new to it, or you pick up something and you're like, wow, this is nice quality, but it's really junk because you have no idea what good quality is.
Right. Once you understand like what a good zipper is, what good leather is.
Absolutely.
Good stitching. It's easy. I don't know. It takes experience a little bit.
But there's also like tons of like the Prada shoes that I bought. Like I went straight to the internet and just started looking up Prada, fake, all that stuff, and like literally I found like a post on the exact shoes that I had, and the guy was like, "Okay, look at this tag. Look at the font on this. Look at the color here." And then like I went through the whole thing, and there's just so much information out there on fake stuff. I actually tried to sell a pair of jeans. It's a brand called Red Monkey Co., I think, and it's just like they're these really kind of weird embroidered jeans, and I posted them on eBay, and somebody reported me as a fake. And I grabbed the jeans. I went on the internet, and I'm like, oh shit, I guess these are fake. Because there was a couple, like the tag, like little stuff. Like there's a red tag on the back of the jeans, and if you look inside the tag, if it's white, it's fake. But if it's all red, it's real. So that was like the first thing, and then all the pieces started falling together. I got those guides.
Like you really have to take a lot of that stuff with a grain of salt too, because sometimes people are posting stuff, and you really need to take information from bona fide people and verify it. Because I've had somebody tell me there's a kind of an unknown, most people don't know, it's a really high-end brand of purses. It's called Longchamps. Probably none of you have ever even heard of it, and there's not that many fakes out there, especially the old stuff. Have you heard of it?
I've never heard of
Longchamps.
About like 5 last weekend.
Did you?
10 the week before.
Well, like there's a way to verify these, and like somebody on eBay is like, this is fake because of this, and it's like, no, it's really not. And then they referred me to a webpage that was like total bullshit. It wasn't even the truth. So I'm just saying, take that stuff with a grain of salt, do your research. You don't want to put something fake or get rid of something that isn't fake because of improper information. You also don't. Guy mentioned in a chat, because he's such a baby, he can't get on here and do it himself. So since he's my cousin, I'm going to talk about it. The nobody appreciates my sense of humor at 11 o'clock at night. Are you guys aware of any specific products that if you put on eBay, they'll either ban you or remove it?
Yeah, certain like assault rifle related stuff, they'll take that down pretty quickly.
Like magazines, stuff like that, clips,
yeah.
parts.
Certain rounds in excess of like 10 rounds, they'll take that down. But don't advocate it, but there are people who can sell them. If you sell them quickly, you can kind of get them under the.
Like PayPal will stop the sale and hold the money. There's a lot of things. You really should follow the rules of the platform. You really should. It's in your best interest to do so.
Yeah, absolutely. That's
I wouldn't use the eBay platform to sell anything gun related in general. That's a good example. I'm talking about things that are more nested. Did you guys know that like both P90X and Rosetta Stone, they're like very, very highly faked. They're high margin. And dude, I'm a huge long-time seller with lots of connections at eBay. And I can call and actually talk to somebody at eBay, like who works for the company, that not just customer service. They can't do anything. Apparently, they can't do anything if the computer decides that it's fake and it bans you. They can't even. Nobody can unban you. It's like locked in their computer system.
That's so bizarre.
So like P90X stuff, don't put it on eBay. Just don't do it. You'll get a 30-day. You could get up to 30-day suspension for a Vero claim on that specific product. Rosetta Stone P90X. So this is what I shared before, and I'll just talk about it again. So I didn't even know this. I didn't even think that this could be anything. These are belt buckles. Anything that could be concealed as a weapon on like clothing or something like that purposely. So these are just beautiful art knives. Belt buckle knives. Yeah, these are made in the United States by Gerber. They're not illegal, but they might be illegal in some states, but they're certainly not illegal in Oregon. These are like razor sharp. And there are some problems with them. I mean, they kind of get stuck and you can totally cut your finger sharp. But so this item, if you find a Gerber Touche or anything like this, like belt buckle style knives or small switching knives or whatever, don't put that. It's like an instant 7-day suspension if you put this up. Don't do it. Death Piles, do you like not Elliot? Remind me your first name again.
Kevin.
Kevin?
Yeah.
Okay. Kevin, are there things that you've been have been taken off or that you know about that can result in like being banned for any amount of time?
Nah, just what you brought up, like the P90X stuff, that can be banned pretty easily.
Did you find out about that stuff through experience, or did you just find out about it on the internet?
Yeah, just on the internet. Yeah.
So one of the other crazy products is like they were these chests, like for the name of the company, and what happens is the chest has a lock on it, and there were like huge lawsuits, I guess, and people actually died. Like children died in these chests.
Like the Lane cedar chest, I think.
Yeah, those Lane chests that lock and you can't get out of them. They may actually ban your account forever. It's just like a ban that's in there. Like it's the type of ban that like eBay is a hodgepodge of like systems. And if you get caught by one of those systems for some reason, there's just certain products. Obviously, if you put an AK-47 on eBay, you're gonna get fucking banned for life. That's pretty obvious. But like a Lane chest, you would never think that.
Right. You could probably put the upper of AK-47 though. You'd be fine.
It is interesting because you can like older rifles. You can sell certain components or mechanisms. Like you can sell the stock of a rifle. You can sell the firing pin. You can sell. You can even sell barrels. Like you could disassemble a really old rifle and sell all the individual pieces
Well, you can't sell receivers, right? The receiver is actually the registered gun, so I don't think you can sell any type of receiver on eBay.
Right. But you can put like the uppers and everything else, and then you have to buy like that one piece. You have to buy locally, right?
I at an estate sale, I picked up like a Winchester 1867 or something. It's like a one of those crack action.
Golden
like
spike.
the gun that won the West. It's like a 32 special, and it's like, you know, it's the original year, so it's like pre any kind of ban. I guess you can just transfer ownership of it, but you could really blow up an elephant with this thing. It's crazy. I can't believe like people shoot at each other with things like that. That's a crazy gun. 32 special. Yikes.
Gun stuff is like highly sought after, though.
Well,
like
it's hard to
reloading presses and reloading dies. I've just made a killing, no pun intended, on yeah, that was
like I was saying last night, there's just certain things I don't want to be involved in the trade of, you know. I like kitchen knives are cool, but I don't want to sell like weapon knives or anything like that.
Yeah, but the thing is, most people who are using reloading dies and stuff, they're making their own bullets to hunt. They're not not making their own bullets to go out and.
I just don't like bullets per se.
But even like cap guns. Like there's like good money in like old cap guns. I don't know.
Yeah, that's the Roy Rogers type of stuff. It's not the same.
It's cool stuff.
Like
little cast iron things, and you have to like tape them with like orange tape to show that they're not real guns.
There's a single viewer who comes into all of my videos. I have one thumbs down on every single video. It's really funny.
That was me. Sorry.
Yeah,
I want everybody to go into like one of my videos. Like we need to pick one and just get everybody to thumbs down like one of them. Like the first one I made that sucks ass. Like I'll pay $1 for every like down vote. And we just like drive it. It's like got 10,000 unlikes, and I'm talking about like pancakes or something.
Fire up that PayPal. About to get that dollar.
I believe my bid is too high. I pay a nickel.
Are there things that you guys see that are just like always entirely overlooked at estate sales?
What was that question?
Are there certain things that you see that are always or almost always entirely overlooked? You're like, wow, this again, like no one is looking out for this.
Cutlery. That's my like
knife. Tell us more.
I feel like I found a lot of like Cutco knives at estate sales. I hate estate sales though, but I end up there sometimes. But
I love estate sales so much. They like give me a boner. I love them so much. Like, I can't even. It's like I like them better than like.
I avoid them more than everything.
I like them more than Brazilian beaches.
No,
maybe not.
Yeah, I'm kind of the opposite of a lot of people. A lot of people like estate sales. A lot of people like community sales. I avoid both like the plague.
I don't like community sales. See, people talk about how much they love garage sales. I just don't. I don't like going around to a million places and finding like really common items at those a million places. I like going to one or two places and finding like the really unique stuff. And Jacob's kind of like the same way, right?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, if I'm driving past a garage sale,
I'll stop.
Yeah, I'll stop. I mean, it never hurts to look around. I don't really seek them out though.
No. I find more unique stuff often at Goodwills than I do at garage sales. But also, like with that eye for uniqueness, it takes a while to build that eye for uniqueness. You know, it doesn't just come overnight.
And I definitely think it depends on the neighborhood. That can definitely.
Depends on the city that you're in too. The estate sales in Louisiana sucked ass. I mean, they were terrible.
The way I see it,
I have some.
Is that like you're cutting out the middleman? Like, so you go to the thrift store, like all the stuff that ends up at your thrift store, like all the good stuff is already gone. You're getting like second pick.
Yeah, but that's your scarcity mentality.
I got all like 10 times better stuff than you're gonna get at the thrift store.
Absolutely not.
Right now. Yeah, you know,
Absolutely not.
I
I mean, you're not right.
I would say that there's I mean, at least I've kind of had a perception that a garage sale is stuff that people want to get rid of. An estate sale is stuff that people have to get rid of.
It depends. It really depends. Like estate sales, if they're run by someone, then you have to catch them slipping. Like I feel like a lot of estate sales run by like a business, like they get to keep the majority of the stuff that they don't sell, and then they sell it at a profit. And
I don't think that's true in all markets. Maybe that's how the estate sale companies that you're associating. Yeah. Well, I think that maybe the estate sale companies that you're associating yourself with are doing that, but maybe you need to. There are some that don't post this publicly, and you need to find a way into those. I'm just letting you know. Like I had that mentality first, and I really started to like exploring it, and it was the opposite. So what I find about estate sales is this, like when it's the homeowner, it's way worse because they'll actually print stuff out from eBay and like put it on the item.
My experience is like the complete opposite. Like a privately run like estate sale, it's like the kids, they just want to like blow out their parents' stuff. I get crazy deals like at privately run estate sales. But like when they hire a company, they have to like get a percent, like a certain, I don't know. I can't get a deal.
They take 30. Don't they take like 30%?
I don't know how it works. I know that they don't really care if they sell it or not. That's what I feel like. Like
that's messed up. Like if I show up and I'm supposed to sell all your shit and I get 30%, I would be blowing the fuck.
I feel like I really feel like I don't run estate sale companies, but I feel like your generalization is absolutely. I really believe it's incorrect. But I mean, this is an open and honest forum, and I'm just telling you, like, I think as a friend of yours, I'm saying I totally
agree. I estate sales. I'm just gonna tell you like straight up, I don't have good experience at them.
Yeah, no, that's the thing is like
but they're just like completely overpriced.
It happens both ways.
eBay prices like at their location, which is just ridiculous.
It happens both ways. It depends on the company and what, how long they've been doing business and what they specialize in.
Yeah.
And we kind of talked about this the other night. If a company specializes in a certain thing or has a misconception about the strength of a market, they will overprice electronics or antiques or furniture or tools. If they think like this stuff is highly sought after, we're going to be right at, you can buy at new price.
So what they'll do, one of the key signs is in the pictures. Let's say there's a Vitamix, and the Vitamix is over in the corner in the pictures, and they don't highlight it. That's going to be a better sale, I promise you, than if there's an actual picture of that specific item. I'm just telling you.
Yeah.
These are in my experience truths.
Yeah.
In the same thing, like garage sales, there's definitely going to be gems. You know, there's always going to be gems anywhere you look. I mean, you're evidence of that.
I think that's what works for you. Like this is the whole game. You got to catch people slipping. You got to catch people people are gonna like remember what they spent on something, and then they want to get like a percentage of that. And then there's stuff that they don't remember, and so you have to like just kind of keep moving along until you find the thing that they don't value, but you know has value.
Right.
I know, maybe that's not them listening now, but maybe they're just offering that value because they're offering that value. Like them slipping means like you're like getting one over on them.
Sometimes it is, man. I catch them slipping.
I mean, but,
because they don't. Sometimes they don't know what you have.
What about those cufflinks? Huh? The cufflinks.
What about it?
You didn't put one over on the guy, but you didn't necessarily like. Maybe they were slipping. They didn't know that those cufflinks were so damn expensive.
They weren't slipping. They offered a price. I found it to be a fair price, and I purchased it. I didn't have it.
The floor was wet.
Here's the thing.
So they didn't know the true value of it.
by a professional company, and they price it professionally, and I purchase it at their full price, generally on their first day. I believe that is absolutely fair, and it's not about slipping. Like, they have a lot of stuff to get rid of. It doesn't mean they're going to get 100% value for everything. And like, if a guy like me, if I go to every one of their sales and I spend between $500 and $1,000, it helps them out. Like, they need that cash flow to keep their sales going. I mean, it's not free to run an estate sale. You need staff, you need to advertise, you need to do a lot of stuff. It takes a lot of man hours to price everything. Even if you're just like pricing stuff randomly, it still takes time, and time is money. So
I guess what slipping is that, like, you can't know, like, nobody can know the worth of everything. Nobody can have all that knowledge. So like, sometimes they value something, and then other times they're not going to value something, you know? And so you have to and so they don't value that thing, but it's worth something. They slipped. It's not like an insult. It's just, you know,
it sounded that way. I didn't want to. I don't. That's not my base philosophy. So I was confused about it.
Okay.
It sounds like you're like, I'm trying to take advantage of people.
I'm not trying to take
advantage
of people. It's just like, people
want to get rid of this stuff,
and they don't value other things, you know? And so you have to find out what they value, and then find out what they don't value, and if that's worth something, buy it, you know?
That's the
you're finding gaps in the market, but I mean, any type of business is like, a good business finds gaps in the market, and they use that market gap to drive like the production of like capital. So I mean, that's just like basic business. We just do it in a weird Smurfy kind of way.
Yeah.
But you guys are all good. Like, Elliot's getting much better. Kevin, obviously, like, he finds like crazy stuff, man. That elf was nuts. And Jacob has an eye that you just don't see with a lot of other people, man. He really finds some awesome stuff, and I'm glad to have him as a resource. I was trying to get him to help me sell some engravings today, but he just wouldn't do it.
Can I show you like an estate sale slipping?
Oh, hell yes.
Yeah.
All right, I'll show
My
you.
house is an estate sale slipping.
The floor is wet. That's what we're going to just say now. The floor is wet. The estate sale floor was just icy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, dude. I think, Jacob, I had like an idea for a show where we, it wasn't my idea actually. It might have been 10K on the Bays idea. So the Hustler dudes, the idea. We both have like, we need to put on cameras. We both need to go in the same sales.
Oh.
And we need to have like, we come out and we do it like those stupid shows where they were like, I found this and it has this value, and then we have like a bet. Whoever gets the most, we have to figure out how to like assay it, but the one person buys the other person lunch or something. We have to have a series. You'll beat me and I'll just look stupid, but that's like part of who I am.
It's a clever way to just get free lunch out of me forever. You're sick.
No, you're gonna get the free lunch, dude. You made more money than me this weekend, probably.
Hey, Kevin. Let's see those. Let's see the slippery.
Right. So first off, I gotta like preface this in that I was an art major, so this is like kind of my expertise is art. So this was at a super wealthy person's house, and like everything was priced up like crazy. And he actually had like a Christie's like auction book in his bookshelf. But anyhow, this is an Albert Durr.
Oh my God, Durr!
Do you know Durr?
Yeah.
Do you really?
Yeah, so I bought a bunch of engravings a few months back, and a guy who was a librarian on eBay bought one of my engravings. He came and picked it up in person, and he educated us a little bit, and he thought one of the ones we had might have been a Durr, but
it was really bad shape.
It was who was it done by? It was done by someone else, but so, it was
like it's signed. Like, you know, you can see it right there. I don't know if you can see it.
Oh, bring it
closer. You gotta move it over a little bit, dude.
What's that?
You gotta move it. Yeah, there you go.
So AD 1514. So like it's not signed anywhere else, but you can see the impression.
That's true.
Yeah, definitely.
It's definitely an engraved plate, and I've looked at it.
Yeah.
It's not like.
I remember it was AD, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's it. Any plate.
Oh, wait, that was like, you know, a $20 purchase at an estate.
No.
Everything was like ridiculous. So
There's plate
So
houses.
how much is that? What could you get for
England
that?
where they have the actual plates, and what they'll do is they'll do impressions of those plates on different types of paper and sell them. And usually what they do is on the engraved, like the original, they'll make some kind of mark slightly different, and then so you can tell it from the original. But I mean, there's nothing to stop them from producing them again. They're engravings. The thing, because they're on copper plates over time, the copper gets squished and squished and squished and squished, and they lose their clarity.
right.
So the clearer it is, the more early it is.
Right.
That's like at least $1,600.
Okay. Jesus Christ. Can I show you guys one that's sitting here? I haven't shown this to
You're the art major. What did you believe the value to be of that?
I looked up auctions and it was like in the range of like $5,000.
Yeah.
Hey, congratulations on the find. That's
Like low ball, 16, $2,000.
Yeah, I mean, even you know, at $20 to $1,600, I'm completely fine with it. But at the same time, as an art major, and this is like one of my heroes in art, I'm completely fine with having it in my house for a little bit, you know. So,
Dude, congratulations! That's awesome.
Crazy find, dude. Crazy find. This is can you see the sea? Is it too dark?
We're catching
Little bit outside.
but
It's because the reflection in the screen.
I can
This
see
is
that file in the reflection.
yeah, right. See if we can get this. This is it's Gillis Hendricks, and it says Peter Paul Rubens.
nice.
Peter Paul Rubens. It's a. Do you know about Peter Paul Rubens? Because I can't really find a lot of information about the dude, but you can really see the scene there. You see the moon reflecting on the water, the horse down by the water. It's like a nice moonlit scene. Can you guys see it at all?
Yeah.
Really, really cool. Really cool. This is the same sale. Like, he went in and bought everything I didn't buy, but I just went through and picked all the ones off the wall that were framed. There was a huge pile of them. And I tried to pick themes that look interesting, you know, like some equestrian scenes, some nautical scenes. Downstairs I have one that's like Kraken kind of looking thing.
I made an enormous mistake at that sale.
Yeah.
As I was like going through and looking at all the engravings, right? And I was like working a deal. This woman comes in and she is observing me, like scouring through and like looking at all of these. And she starts asking me questions like, why am I so interested in them? And I was like, you know, they're just so cool and old. And then she was like, so what are like the valuable ones? And I was like, if it has like a signature on it, that like really makes it valuable. And then she picked out a couple that had signatures on them and was like, I'm going to get these ones. Like after I was going to buy them all out. It was sneaky AF.
And she was like super nice.
Oh yeah, you got some
nice.
really shady. You have some really shady buyers here in Portland too. People steal stuff from estate sales too. I've totally seen it happen.
I forgot that was something you could do. And then at a sale, they were like, yeah, we had someone come through and steal it. I was like, what?
Yeah.
Someone used like a fake $100 bill at one.
Oh yeah, I'm sure that happens all the time. But the concentration of wealth here in Portland and probably in LA and all this, it's crazy. I mean, they can't even sell it all. Look what you got today for basically nothing. I mean, you got a couple $1,000s worth of antiques at their, you know, that's selling at a discounted price for what, like a couple $100?
Yeah. 200.
Yeah, I mean, they're just, when he sold you that toy, basically he gave you the toy and a $100 bill, you know? You just have to trade the toy for that $100 bill. I mean,
Exactly.
I mean, you're just picking up $100 bills off the ground. It's nuts.
That's what we're all doing. It's amazing, dude.
It's the best time to be selling on eBay. It's awesome to have. It's awesome to be connected with you guys and see, you know, more veteran style, newer style. Like Elliot's just coming into it and getting in there and trying to figure out where he's going to be.
Who's Elliot?
Elliot's the guy who stole your name and you're going to have an acid fight with later.
This guy.
celebrity deathmatch style. You're both gonna have vintage like. Did you guys know about super soakers? By the way, speaking of vintage super soakers, it's like people went around and put acid in them in like New York and sprayed people with them or something crazy like that happened. Vintage super soakers, like right now, just look up super soaker. Go to the highest listing. There's these ones that they have. There's a quick release adapter that it snaps into so you can fill it up. It's from like the 90s. Some of them, if it's in the package, if you can find one, like $500-600.
Yeah,
No
yeah.
problem. I found one of the models. I went into the bins and there were 4 of them. They were beat to shit. There were 4 of them in the bins, and like they sold from $75 to $125 each, but like in minutes, like very very quickly. Like super soaker stuff. It's crazy. It's crazy.
Dude, when those came out, those were like every like. I did not grow up in any type of wealthy family or anything, but like all the rich kids in town had super soakers at like, we'd go to the lake in the summertime to hang out, and like all the rich kids had super soakers, and we'd be sitting there with our like Kmart knockoff, like water blaster piece of shit, like ghetto ass food stamp kids. I'm like,
You had the one with the
So expensive, right?
plastic cup plug that went into the back of it.
yeah, exactly.
I just had balloons.
I just had
I had Dollar Tree balloons.
Balloons did do the trick though.
They did some damage. They took a long
Yeah,
time,
they did.
and they burst on you. That's kind of the kamikaze.
The balloon thing. Are you guys checking that out?
Oh my goodness,
Wow.
Kevin, I gotta ask, did you get any more engravings at that sale?
Nope. No. Just that one. Do you want to see another cool art piece I got?
Hell
Yes.
yeah. Show us some art.
Preferably something with boobs on it, but whatever you have is fine. No, Mighty, I don't want to see your boobs. Don't, stop doing that. Stop doing that. Stop doing
It's
that.
actually my show, and I tell people to stop doing stuff.
Okay, carry on.
My other the grail art piece, I guess. I don't know, because as an artist, these are things I heard about in art history. This is a Muybridge.
Yeah.
You know Muybridge?
Mm-hmm.
So I got that. That was $3.
Huh.
And it's an original. It's he's like that guy from he knew like Stanford back in the day. I don't know. But anyway, like he was like posed with the question, like if like a horse is running, like
Oh, he's the guy that took those pictures.
right. Do all feet like lift off the ground? So like he did that thing where like they get the tripwires and all that kind of stuff going on.
Shit.
So I got
So
this.
that-
Yeah.
Go
So it's a $3 photograph.
That's crazy.
And it's like so cool. It's like it's weird. You have all this matting down here
Uh-huh.
because down here is where it's signed, but I don't know. So it
It's
seems
still work though. Even
The
if
value of that thing.
it doesn't have to be centered. It looks perfect. It looks amazing. Just how
Yeah.
it is.
so that's like I evaluate this at like $8,000.
I love art.
I love art too. And so that's my problem is like I have a hard time like selling those two pieces because like they're my heroes. So you know.
Awesome.
Yeah, there's no problem holding on to something like that. I mean, it's not like you need to sell it or it's going to lose value.
Grow in value. That thing is amazing.
Like a parakeet flying or something. Yeah. Cool.
I just thought he hit the bong all day, but actually he finds amazing shit.
Let me show you guys this one piece I picked up.
So you want to see hitting the bong all day?
Edward Muybridge. See all this shit that you guys keep showing me. I'm like, I gotta Google this shit. I gotta find out who Muybridge.
Yeah.
Learning stuff every day.
Oh, are you taking the one off our wall? This is in our bedroom.
I want to see. Ooh. Oh my god, this is in your bedroom?
Yeah,
It's huge.
This is, let's see, it's probably a 5 by 4 foot framed, painted. It's like abstract modernism. It's by Robert Coghill. He's a local person. He's like kind of famous in the Portland art scene
Yeah.
in the 90s.
But this was made in '66.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, I think he kind of blew up in the 80s and 90s.
You haven't gotten
but
it appraised though.
I picked this up for $40.
What is its approximate value?
I don't even know, but one of his friends that owns a gallery in Portland said that he would appraise it for me. I just haven't taken it to him yet.
Interesting. Well, before you do that, I'm gonna come and steal it from you.
And it's like
that's a really incredible piece of art. Did
his most valuable pieces are the ones he did when he was in college, and it's signed in '66 when he was leaving PNCA. Is that right?
Did you put that offer on that? Did you put that offer on that chicken for me?
Yes, I did. They were asking $500 for it though.
Well, fuck them. I don't care.
Did you really put an offer?
Yeah, I put $100 on it.
So speaking of weed, that was a great find. But like I don't smoke. I really don't smoke, even though like I got this and it kind of makes me want to. But anyways, it's have you seen one of these?
Oh yeah, dude. I've seen the volcanoes. I've sold some volcanoes. Those are like really high end.
See the price, $679.
Yeah, dude, they're super high end.
$20.
Would you? Yeah. What? That's ridiculous.
What is it? I've never seen those.
It's a vaporizer. I don't know what. I don't know. It's like a German-made, like high-end cannabis vaporizer type thing.
Oh.
So these
That shit.
used, I think, at least it's like a $300 bill. Because like
Yeah, definitely.
$700 new.
Definitely.
So people like these. I don't know how to like flip it though. But I mean, I don't know about
It's
eBay.
not illegal. It's not illegal. It's not illegal on eBay. It's not paraphernalia. You can use it to vaporize all kinds of herbs and materials and stuff. You can totally put like catnip and smoke that shit if you want. Yeah, you can sell them. You got to get they sell these little bags. If it doesn't have the bag for it, order some of the bags and just make sure it works.
Yeah, it has bags and everything. So
yeah, you just snap the bag on there. If you don't smoke weed, put some parsley in there.
Okay.
Seriously, put some parsley in there and see if it vaporizes it. All you do is like put it on there. It'll inflate the bag and just like take a small puff and see if it's warm, and I'll tell you that it works really because it doesn't make smoke. It only makes like a water vapor.
all right. So get
Where did you find that?
garage sale. Not an estate sale because estate sales suck.
Estate sale. You've already missed all the good stuff.
I actually found a vaporizer 2 weekends ago at an estate sale. And
Really?
it was like Vapor Brothers.
Yeah, I saw one. I didn't buy it. I actually left it and forgot about it. I picked it up, put it in my basket, put it back down for a second to look at something else, and then I forgot it.
Oh, that's the one I bought.
It probably is because you don't see them. No, it probably is.
Probably. $5.
So I doubt anybody's watching this stuff anymore at this point. But in
No,
case
we have like
anybody's watching,
we have several viewers. We're gonna cut it off in a second because I'm gonna go to bed. But I'm gonna if you like art, I don't know if you've are you like into kind of like avant-garde kind of stuff?
I love all art. I love art. But let me preface really quick. The show and tell it feels like we're bragging, but the reality is anybody can go out and get crazy, amazing stuff. You know, it's not like we're like hype beasts, like sporting Supreme or something like that. It's just treasure.
No, but it's all what we're sporting is like knowledge, and knowledge is like power to control your income and your interactions. So I think that's like maybe the defining message of this show in general. But it is fun to show your like most amazing finds. This is one of my most amazing finds. I'm transitioning it to somewhere else, so it won't be in my house for much longer. It's got to stay. It's gonna stay. It's gonna stay under lock and key. It's interesting. So this is a piece by a guy named Inio Yomi. He was born in like 1926 in Rosario, Argentina, and he founded his own art movement called the Concrete Invention Art Movement. And some of his sculptures go for hundreds of thousands of dollars. His paintings are lesser known, but have gone at auction. This one is, it kind of looks like this mountainous, abstract, either like laser. I don't know. It's has this really amazing composition that I just really love. So check out this guy's art in general. He's mostly does like these wire form sculptures on like metal bases, and I do have one of his sculptures. Though he was a very prolific sculptor, his early works are the ones that are like highly sought after.
What's his name again?
Ennio Iommi, Eniooiommi.
Okay.
It's signed Iommi. This was from '84. He died in like '97 or something like that. But yeah, so this is tempera on hardboard. He he made his own tempera paints and that kind of stuff. So there's only there's a one that's very similar. There's a famous picture of him like in his office sculpting, and it's not this one, but it's obviously he did this in some kind of series, and there's another one like on the wall of his office, and like this more famous images of him. But yeah, he's been in galleries all over the world, and even though he was a prolific sculptor, his sculptures are still pretty rare outside of Argentina's. Formas Lineas was his like main body of work, and it's really, really, really beautiful. You should check it out. You really appreciate it, Kevin. It's really awesome. But yeah, so this is one of my definitely my prized pieces of art. I collect things that I consider more on the psychedelic side, and that's just what I like.
Yeah, that one looks like a lightsaber coming down across the landscape.
Yeah, I mean it does. It has an interesting composition. That's what it is.
Cool, man. Yeah, thanks. I love it. So it's okay.
Kevin, did you find those at garage sales? Or
I actually found the Muybridge at a garage sale. I found I caught the Juror was at a estate sale, so I caught them like slipping because it has the AD. Like there's no signature. It's like you have to see it in the print and know that's
about art. It's like when I walk into a house, like if you see enough records, you might learn something about records. But it's for me one of the most confusing niches is records.
Oh, totally.
Yeah. Figure it out.
My strategy for records is anything that was on the border. So like rap music, Nirvana and beyond, where it was transitioning to like CDs. I picked that stuff up.
So I went through a lot of these came from an estate sale, and I really didn't know about the records at all. But this one's pretty rare. This is a Fish, the lead singer of Fish.
Oh yeah, Trey Anastasio.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and this is called the Horseshoe Curve, and it's very, very scarce. I mean, I could only find 2 copies, and they both sold for like $175, and they were used, and I couldn't find a new copy anywhere. This is a really weird.
I think me and you are the immortal.
Yeah, the Youngbloods. Have you heard of the Youngbloods? It's got like a crazy Woodstock scene on the back. Crazy. Some of these guys' records go for a ton of money, but I don't know shit about it. I bought this one because I like the cover art because it was like so dumb. And then if you find this, this is like a $75 record.
That's awesome. I love that.
It's got it's from the movie, and it's got like the color book on the inside. It's got a little book, and the graphics are really, really, really cool. But these are actually, you can actually find these, but pretty cool. I don't know. Records for me are the most. Art is way beyond my scope, and records are way beyond my scope. I'm just not smart enough for art.
I disappoint a lot of people at like garage sales. They're like, "This is a super rare piece," and then I look at it, I'm like, "That's a print."
They do that at garage sales all the time. They're like, "This is a Klimt."
Right.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
I can see the little dots. It's nothing.
Yeah, it says Walmart Productions on the bottom.
So you guys are saying like, you said it's the dur that you have is a plate.
It's an engraving. So it was printed off a plate. Yeah. So like what they do is the artist would engrave a plate, like a copper plate, and you would like scratch it or use acid or whatever method he decided to use. Then you like roll ink on it and then you press it in a press. So you can do multiples of it. So it's not like a one of a kind piece, but still.
So aren't there like there's a type where they put the wax down and then they take the wax off and then put it in acid, right? And then you have like where they like carve it into different types of metal and different types of wood. And aren't there like several methods of like making the actual master block?
Yeah,
or
there's a lot of print making processes for sure. Yeah. Like you can print off of wood, you can print off of linoleum.
So like what is the process of this? Like this guy, how did, because this is like Renaissance era, 1570s. What would they be using to make this? Like what would be the
It's hard to tell like through like the computer.
Yeah.
I
mean, what was common at the time?
The Renaissance period, like printmaking techniques. Like, I mean, like lithographs was like printing off of stone. So that's been for a while. Like engravings, like copper and like metal engravings have been done for a while. Beyond that, like, I don't know, there's more modern techniques of like replicating art. But
it's most likely copper. It's a copper plate.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Awesome. Well, dudes, I want to thank everybody for being on the show or whatever the hell this is. Jacob, Kevin, Elliot, thank you guys so much for contributing your information to the show. I have to even still get a little bit of work done and then go pass out. So I want to thank you guys, and I will see you soon. I'm not going to do a show tomorrow night because I want to get some rest, but we'll see if we can find a Jacob, maybe you can give me a hand. We'll reach out and find our next victim. Tonight's show was really interesting, by the way. It really was. The beginning was pretty crazy. So I'm going to stop the broadcast. You guys can chill.